Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Listening to 13 Cards Subject Change. I'm here. Leroy's here. Jesse is on the way. A little, late morning for him today. We are starting a lot earlier than normal because Leroy does want to get out there
earlier
with the kiddos. So
I need my candy. I was trying to tell him that you get one, Dad gets one.
Exactly.
They don't see that.
Okay, all right.
But I'll have to work on that.
Okay, well, that'll happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, big week in wrestling. And yes, for those of you wondering out there, I believe Britt Baker and Abaddon are still trying to find a way to break that table. Boy, was that an ugly spot.
I'm glad I missed that.
Oh God, it was bad. And they also the sad part is it was on the floor. It's not like they did it in the ring. So like I don't remember. Now, I know for a fact they weren't flying out of the ring through it. I just know they were going to go through it off, I think, the ring apron, and it just did not collapse at all. It bent a little bit, but...
Somebody didn't cut it right, or what?
They didn't... Well,
or what the heck? Or they've got the wrong table?
No, they left the band on again.
Oh.
Because,
yeah,
again, people don't realize that, it's harder to go through the table with the band on. I mean, again, real tables just... tweaked a little bit so that they will end up breaking.
And we know what happens when we keep the band on because Hardcore Holly
got
a big ass slash on his
I
back
remember.
the one time when they had it on there. Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. Bob got that. That was
that was a nasty one.
Yeah, he still had that scar. Months after too. Yeah, no, you could see it.
He might still have it now.
I know,
that was
right?
a bad one.
Anyway, so we got a bunch of stuff coming up here today. It has been officially put out there that the women's PWI top 10 was dropped.
Yep.
I think we'll start there before we get Jesse in here. Leroy, I believe you have the 10.
Yes.
Why don't you go from 10 up?
10 up.
Yep.
All right. And Jim Cornette reviewed these two, and he was like, "Oh my God." He wasn't sure about this, but hey,
yeah, no,
you know, there was a couple on there he did enjoy, and the other ones he was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 10, Raquel Gonzalez.
I think she had arguably the best year. It was on a smaller brand, smaller audience that was seeing it, but arguably she was the best female all year. She was strong the entire time, really up until Halloween Havoc, which we'll be talking about here in a little bit. She didn't really lose all year. She was strong the entire time. She came off as a badass. She knocked Rhea Ripley out of NXT, which I thought was great because it ended in a way that made it impossible for Rhea to be able to go back to NXT.
It was a very good ending the way they did.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't disagree she should be top 10. I disagree that she's that low. Because again, I look at the overall. Now, the promo could be a little better. I think she falls back to the same thing, calling someone chica or insulting them in Spanish a little bit. She needs a little more wide variety of the ability to do a promo, in my opinion. But other than that, I don't see why you wouldn't look at her maybe having the best year. Period. I mean, it was phenomenal for her.
Oh yeah, it was great year.
Also treated as a top female virtually the entire time. I mean, obviously she was a heavy, but I mean, for the most part, I think she was dominant, as that heavy, and was really a breakout star of that tag team.
Oh, definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the better show, by the way, folks, while you were all watching Dynamite and watching a women's Devolution. Sorry, that's pretty much what it is at this point.
Kind of what it was.
Yeah. Raquel Gonzalez was phenomenal.
Yes. All right, and then I'm not sure who this is.
Go ahead.
Tam Nakano.
Let me see the name.
Tam, Tamnakano. Japanese wrestler. Jim was they were talking about it, and there's I've never heard of this person. I have not heard this person.
Spell the last name.
Nakano.
All right.
Jesse was here. He would definitely know who that is.
Yeah.
Granted, she's a Japanese wrestler or wrestles over in Japan.
Okay. So she's the current Wonder of Stardom champion. So I mean, obviously had a very good year over there in Stardom Wrestling, which again, all female wrestling company, but puts on some really great shows.
They do.
We'll definitely have Jesse give us a little more when he comes in there. So yeah.
All right, number 8.
Yep.
Io Shirai.
Io, again, it was a much different year for Io because she wasn't, the top champion really that long. I think we were towards the end of the reign, which whether or not you love a reign or not, I mean, the ending, you can kind of feel it coming a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
But then, of course, she was also out for a little bit, gone. Wasn't really in NXT for a while. Then they put her with Zoe Stark, which, by the way, was not a bad dynamic. It was actually kind of a fun little, that they didn't, Zoe tried to make it work with her and everything, and Io just really didn't like her. Io stayed kind of to her sort of, steadfastness. But no, I thought Io had a pretty good year. Was not like I said, it was not her being the top champion, but it was definitely not a bad year for her.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I love her and her tag team run. I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a good fun little tag team because you really didn't have much for Zoe Stark and not a lot for Io at that point. Because obviously the title picture was focusing a little more on Raquel towards the end of the winged era.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
All right, number 7 is Syuri, Syuri. I think it's Syuri, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that one, she is in ring stardom. She's a current SWA World Champion in her first reign right now. So
yeah.
She's only 32.
Yeah.
A young one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And definitely Stardom. Like I said, I always love to go find old Stardom shows and watch them. They're definitely starting to make waves there. So
yeah, definitely. All right, we got number 6, Sasha Banks.
Well, again, Sasha was out most of the year. She spent a lot of time just off doing her own thing. Obviously was pulled from SummerSlam for Becky, so that was kind of like the high point of her year that she got pulled for. But again, and I agree with Sasha. Look, for whatever reason she was gone, I don't care personally. She said that's for you to know and probably never find out, for me to know and you probably never to find out, and that's fair. She doesn't have any reason to tell us why she was out.
True.
It's
I mean, she had a good, she was the champ for the first part of the year
until
WrestleMania.
That, and again, I think as much as it is odd to say this about somebody who is still in the prime of their career, being Sasha, her being gone really shows us when she comes back, that, okay, she is the best in-ring woman on the planet,
hands
bar
down.
none.
Oh my God, yes.
She works with anyone, any style of match, any female has basically any female on the roster has their best match of the year against Sasha. So, definitely one of the in-ring goats there. So, just a lot of fun to watch. Gets a big, heel or not, she gets a big reaction when she comes back. So.
Oh yeah. All right, and then we have number 5, Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa was really exposed to a much larger audience this year with AEW. It's one of the few things I've actually given credit to AEW this year is allowing Thunder Rosa to be on more of a national televised basis in America. But I think people looked at her and saw her have phenomenal matches once again with anyone.
Yeah.
I just think Sasha's a slight tick above Thunder Rosa, just because I've seen Sasha do it longer on a bigger stage. Not that Thunder Rosa can't do it, but definitely Thunder Rosa, phenomenal competitor. It should be AEW Women's Champion to give it some legitimacy. Nothing against
that is true.
Britt Baker, but there's so much that Thunder Rosa can bring to any company. Obviously, no longer with NWA. She's
is she officially done with NWA now?
All sources that I've seen, she's just done. So she's more AEW, but she gets to work obviously with other companies and making it better. But just a phenomenal talent who will do wonders down, for many more years at this point, in my opinion. And then of course there was also, I think, the slight bias because they had that hardcore lights out match, her and Britt Baker, and it was good, but I think they've really overdone it. They've really overblown what it was, and at the end of the day. There's some logistical stuff that bothered a bunch of people. Guys like Jim Cornette were bothered because it's like, okay, you got 120-pound girls doing everything to themselves. What do the guys have to do outside of literal murder to make it register with the fans?
That's so true.
And then also the video that surfaced only a couple of days after that match where they were like, you think Dave Meltzer will finally give us 5 stars? And Dave, despite being on the AEW payroll, sorry, I truly believe that he still is.
I believe so.
No one's really questioning much on that anymore.
Yeah.
Even he didn't do it. It was because they really asked. Is really what it was.
All right.
So, but okay.
Yeah. Number 4 is our lovely AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker.
Britt Baker has gotten over as a heel. She has the DMD over. She's a career woman, which I think is great. That young girls can see. Okay, she's a pro wrestler. She's going out there showing that she can beat people up, and she's a badass. And she has a medical degree. I mean, Britt Baker is legitimately Dr. Britt Baker.
She can knock your teeth out and then fix them for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bonus.
And her reign hasn't been terrible. Could be better. And he's here, folks, live on Halloween.
Yay!
I don't know why you decided to wear a Jets sweatshirt. Is that your costume this week, or is that just...
It's my pain every week.
Oh, yeah. We didn't...
Hold on. It's my pain every week, my friend.
Okay, all right. All right. So anyway...
I'll tell them how I'm playing Madden, the new one, and the face of the franchise, and I'm the quarterback of the Jets.
Oh, they probably treat you better than they treat Zach Wilson.
Well,
I'm
so anyway,
7-2.
So anyway, Jesse. So we opened the show with the women's PWI top 10.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple of women that we're gonna need your help on. A couple
All
of
right.
Stardom products. But first of all, just to repeat this because Jesse would have loved this. For anyone out there who's wondering, yes, Britt Baker is still trying to put Abaddon through that table.
I still don't think she got her through, even though that woman is thick.
Yes. All right. I believe it. Okay, so just a quick recap. Number 10 was Raquel Gonzalez. I actually argued she could be top 3 because overall her year was
And then a
pretty
little bit
good.
of news on her is that they've had her actually working some dark matches recently on SmackDown.
Yep.
So there's a chance she's getting called up.
Yep. Number 9, I believe, was the first one that we needed Jesse's help with.
Tam
Nagano.
Nakano.
Oh, Tiam Nigana, I think. Because I think hers is actually accented.
Got it.
My goodness, yeah, Stardom. Wow. So she is technically one of their first big projects of the last 5 years.
Okay.
Most of the time for the women's dojos out there, they kind of send them. They kind of do the same with the men, except they don't usually send the women on excursion very often.
Okay.
Stardom will just often, if they don't have anything for them, they just let them come to different countries to work.
Okay.
But usually, technically, they're still contracted to Stardom. Hell, B. Priestley, who's not even Japanese, actually had that kind of a contract with them.
Okay, cool, yeah.
She is amazing. You can actually find a couple of some of her best 2020 matches when they were able to come back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Strong style, a little bit of a higher flyer.
She's a high flyer with Crispin Wall's technicality and a lucha libre high flying style, and she mixes it all together.
So it's really almost like a Chris Benoit type of scenario.
Yeah, she's a super hybrid of a woman. I don't think she's long to stay in Stardom.
Fair enough. All right, and we won't go over too many till we get to the next one. What was the one after that?
8 was Io Shirai.
I mean, what is there to say?
Well, here's the deal. I said top 10, yes. Mm-hmm. Any higher, no, because she was definitely more of a, I don't want to say background, but her reign was towards the end, and the Zoe Stark thing was more kind of, fun for people because they didn't have a ton for her in the main event scene.
Correct.
But, Io, still one of the best in the world.
And really held down a tag team women's division that they just built down there in NXT.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
No, yeah. Go
They
ahead.
do
Leroy.
a better job, by the way, than the main roster.
Yeah, go ahead, Leroy.
Number 7 was Shiri.
Okay, yeah. So interesting with her, for her to be ranked this high, it has to be because of the end of their calendar year, which was, I really want to say February till now.
Got it. Okay.
Because really, she's been a background character until recently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So more of a surprise for people.
I was a little shocked to see her in the top 10, but the last 4 or 5 months has been excellent for her.
Okay. Yeah, no, great to hear. And what can fans expect from her in Stardom?
Big things towards the end of the year. I believe she's in their title picture right
Really?
now.
Okay.
So yeah, very big things, especially going into 2022.
Strong style?
Definitely strong style. Not much of a high flyer, kind of a taller woman, more well built, but impressive. I think only 22.
Really?
Very young.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, she is.
Leroy, number 6.
All right, number 6 was Sasha Banks.
Mostly because she was gone.
I was gonna say she would have been, and part of that was also their beginning of the year. She was of course filming the Star Wars show, The Mandalorian.
Yes.
But yeah, like really, when she's there, she's one of the most entertaining things in pro wrestling.
Well,
like
I argued or didn't argue. I basically said, what's really weird when you still have a wrestler who's clearly in their in-ring prime.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Her going away is almost great for her because when she comes back, heel or face, you realize she. No offense to any woman on this planet, in ring, Sasha may be the best ever. She can have a match with anybody.
I mean, it's hard to argue there. She is in ring, especially in ring storytelling. And by the way, she's a hell of a promo. People, we're not saying she's not.
Oh yeah, no.
But in ring storytelling, I've always thought like I get why they push Charlotte because Charlotte is so good.
Yeah.
Even though now she's very Triple H 2005 to me right now.
We'll get to her in a little bit, yeah.
Because I know she's on this list.
Yep.
But Sasha Banks may be the best female wrestler in the world.
Name a woman, and this would actually be a negative. Name a woman who, any company, anywhere, who wouldn't have their best in-ring match with Sasha Banks. You can't. Because every woman would just...
Outside of Brandy Rhodes...
Yeah. Jessie, sadly, that's on our cards. We'll get to that. Number 5, Leroy.
Number 5 is Thunder Rosa.
Really got exposed in a good way this year. It's one of the things I give Tony Khan and
Billy Corgan for.
Yeah, credit for is you gave us.
I've been talking about her since I was just kind of a guest every now and then on the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So damn impressive. But only been in the business 6 years.
Which is why I put Sasha above Thunder Rosa right now, because Sasha's body of work is just clearly better than Thunder Rosa.
But I must say, between her work in Lucha Underground when she first started, till when she got to NWA, which, oh my goodness. And then, because that was the first time I was like, whoa.
I can understand Billy letting her go because she just has so much more potential in other places right now.
And then at the time, he was just like, I'm not running any shows, particularly. She's doing a lot of good stuff in AEW, so.
I just wish they'd.
One of the few bright spots in AEW.
I just wish they would make her an official player coach and just give her more.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
It's weird that, because, people always think, well, active wrestlers can't be. Well, actually, you can be an active coach, especially since, well, they travel more now, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other subject for a different day with AEW. But it's one of those things where, I'm sure she's a big help to those women backstage in AEW. It would be hard for me to believe she's not.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so damn good.
So now we're into the list, Leroy, where you and I pretty much left off.
Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that little burp there. Apologize for that, guys, and the listeners. Oh, yeah, Sprite, it does it to you sometimes.
Right.
All right, number 4 was the lovely AEW World Champion, Britt Baker.
I mean, listen. Yes, you might have been a little bit green when the company first started, but you just roll with it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, to give her credit, and you know how much I love Adam Cole.
Yeah.
She's always been a little better at understanding how to get herself over.
And as I explained to Leroy, and Leroy agreed perfectly, especially for your little girl, a career woman who can also prove that she can go and do these crazy things. But like I said, Dr. Britt Baker's not a gimmick.
No.
She has a medical degree, ladies and gentlemen.
She's a practicing dentist.
Yes, exactly. So
she's been amazing. One of the bright spots, besides the fact that she's still trying to put Abaddon through that table.
We might have to
but to be fair, folks, back when Kenny was still in charge based on the timeline that we'll get into in a little bit here when we get to Rhodes to the Top, she was just put on a cruise. Her hair was a mess because of the wind. Folks, here's the deal. We all get backstage things. That this is entertainment no matter what you want to believe.
Correct.
You have to make these women look a certain way. I'm sorry, sex sells. It is what it is. And when you have her literally and figuratively fluttering in the wind, she had no idea what to say because the promo was trash to begin with. She actually made it work when they weren't on the cruise. They were back in Jacksonville.
Correct.
But she was just – the beginning was more them than her.
Yeah.
She realized they made her look just so bad that she had to go with this heel run, something Brandy wants to do, but we'll get into that a little bit. But the thing is that no, career woman, nothing short of an example to any little girl out there who wants to do something like that. And again, the only real knock I have for her was just, and again, I told Leroy one of the biggest issues for her and Thunder Rosa was that match. Because they put out the backstage stuff way too early, and number two,
now would have been a good time to put it out.
And number two was for people like Jim who look at it from the conscious visual or unconscious visual, I should say, was okay. You had 220-pound girls do all this. What do the guys have to do now to make it look legitimate outside of straight murder? But I mean, again, unconscious visual was unconscious visual. But anyway, go ahead, Leroy.
All right, number 3 was a former Impact champion, Deonna Purrazzo.
Gene has actually come around to they shouldn't have given the belt to Mickey.
So he's joined your side on that.
Little bit. But here's the deal.
I am so okay with Mickey getting that belt, though.
Yeah, no, and I understand that. But to finish up, I should be the first one to speak on Deonna because again,
I was going to say you go for that.
I have nothing. Look, folks,
and I have nothing but respect for her.
Yes,
like I said, I just disagree. Like it's okay for me. It was okay that they did that with Mickey.
Yeah.
Give Deonna a little bit. She's been carrying it.
Here's my thing about Deonna. I never didn't say she couldn't work. I was just confused as to why, and again, it goes back to how you've been presented. WWE didn't even have her that long in NXT before they cut her.
No.
And she goes to Impact, and all of a sudden she's this big thing. But she didn't really have any experience past NXT, a couple of spots here and there. So really to bring her in was actually a real sort of a test your might thing by Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore was taking a chance on that. And again, looking at Deonna now and what she's been, everyone's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, at the time, that was ballsy by Scott.
Yeah, it was.
Because
in the public eye, she was someone who was jobbed out on Raw, got beat a lot in NXT. Even though she had good matches, she got beat a lot.
Well, but again, she was young in NXT. She was about to start getting that win streak type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, or might have. We don't really know what the plans were. But
Vince made a package for her, like he was behind her, and then just nothing.
but no. When I look at the body of work she had this year, no problem with her being that high. Absolutely none. Because again, she had a phenomenal year. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, no. My opinion can change because, again, I never said she couldn't work. What I said was valid in the beginning, which was, where was the hype when she got to Impact? Which, again...
And to be fair to them, that's when they were still running on Twitch. Unless you were a part of that community, you probably weren't going to get that hype anyway.
Yeah.
But good, really, really good year and a half for her.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
All right. Number 2. I hope I can do this. Jim and them, they butchered this one, too.
Yeah.
Number 2. Utami
Itami Hashinari.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God.
This is for you, Jesse.
Guys, listeners, I tell you, I get if you can't afford the extra $10 to pay for Stardom, I get it.
Now is Stardom a separate package from Strong?
Unfortunately, you can get it together. It costs an extra $6.
Okay.
Because they put it on NewJapan72.com. They put it out like later than they do it's weird. I don't know why they do that. I think they said it's kind of something that they're working. They get the tapes later or something because, of course, they're all partnered Bushi Rhodes. So, but oh my God, guys, go find some matches on YouTube. Watch this woman, and you'll be like, oh, there's a younger Io Shirai out there.
Really? Okay.
Holy shit.
All right.
And she might be a little better.
All right.
Dude, she is
20-something right now?
She's 25 or 24, 25.
So a good 10 years there before she has slowed down.
She's been wrestling since she was 15.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So it almost feels like she's a 20-year veteran in the game when you watch her in the ring. And the physicality.
Really? Okay.
Like the bows she'll throw, even for her tiny frame.
Yeah.
Oh, go find some of her matches.
I guess
Itami Hashinari.
I guess we got some hype here.
Right. Go watch her. Go see why they put her number 2.
All right.
And see why.
And number 1.
Well, as Jim was saying, is like, who are they going to put number 1? Somebody that would sell magazines if they're on the cover, this and that. Yeah, they're going to sell because of.
But I actually agree with number one.
Number one, Leroy, we'll let you go ahead and officially say it.
Of course, the EST, Bianca Belair.
She's the most. It's in a year where Becky returns from having the baby.
Yep.
In a year
where Sasha was out for abortion.
Right. Bayley gets injured.
Charlotte's gotten to, like you said, 05 levels.
Charlotte is Charlotte. She is Triple H levels of Charlotte right now.
Yeah.
From 05. But you got Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa out there getting a lot. Deonna Purrazzo getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
And yet, the brightest star to give WWE a shit ton of credit has been
homegrown,
a black woman from Tennessee,
homegrown
talent that they've been working with for the last 4 years, Bianca Belair.
And by the way, folks, how can they be racist when they've pushed her beyond the moon?
And here's the thing.
They've pushed her. There have been moments where, let's be honest, she was probably flat coming off just a bad night, but they didn't. Proof that they will never give up on something.
And by the way, because they didn't give up on her, and here's the big thing. She gets in there with someone we've already said probably in-ring's the best woman in the world. She held her own.
She stood toe-to-toe for a good portion of the match.
They had, I think that match at WrestleMania was like 20-something minutes.
Close to it, yeah.
And
I believe so,
you almost didn't want it to end.
No.
Listen, she
arguably
deserves this spot.
Arguably, if Roman wasn't the tribal chief in that moment,
we've been talking about her probably being the most popular wrestler in the world right now.
No. I was going to say, arguably, when you actually go back, hindsight being 2020, look at the matches, if Roman wasn't that big, that could have main evented night 2, and I don't think anybody would have cared.
No one, then she probably could have headlined SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like if people thought, because the original thought when he took a break during COVID was, all right, he might go to Hollywood, join his cousin, do some stuff out there since he's got the time now.
Which, as you pointed out last week on the show, in reality, he was still working.
Yeah, he was still working out. He was still working. He was working with the 205 crew. He was
NXT
going to NXT
folks.
and work with them.
He clearly, this is what he wants to do with the prime of his physical well-being.
Correct.
The Rock, we all know he left because, let's be honest, Scorpion King took off. The Mummy took off.
I mean, the movies were just going really well for him.
There's no reason.
And it just sucked for Vince at the time because you had The Rock who's, like he said, he wasn't going to stop him from going to Hollywood.
No.
And then Stone Cold's knees were just done.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that, folks, no one's ever blamed Dwayne for taking that opportunity. And here's the other thing. It'd be one thing if he took it and it just fizzled out or he was a B-list actor. He's the most successful action star in the world right now.
Yes, he is.
Dwayne The Rock. By the way, folks, when he calls himself The Rock, that's not a nickname Hollywood gave him. WWE gave him that nickname. Folks, folks, he is a wrestling product and he is the big, arguably the biggest star in the world.
And by the way, Vince's way of saying, listen, you can come here, hone a craft like acting, and then be able to go out and do it.
Oh, and by the way, one of the most humble SOBs you are ever going to meet.
He really is one of the best human beings in the world. And hell, that actually segues back to Bianca. Just such a humble darling.
She is not
funny as hell.
Jim sees it from a backstage perspective and someone with 40 years in the business. So I get where he's coming from. But to me, she is genuine as hell.
Yes, she is. And fans genuinely gravitate to her and get behind her.
Oh, Allison and I were literally bouncing to her song when she came out. She is just fun when she comes out.
And for me to see this,
she lifted Otis, folks, with ease. She didn't struggle with that, by the way. She could have done a circle around the ring and it would have worked.
How often does he allow women wrestlers to get in the ring with men like that anymore? And he just Vince wanted people to see, like, no, she is a physical freak.
I honestly also would say this: the highlights of arguably my year were her dad almost twice jumping over things, being so happy for his little girl.
Because to be fair to him, I mean, what I like I said, I was a black kid who once went to the Royal Rumble, and I believe that was 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
And like, I would have never thought, because Jacqueline, while did a lot of great things in WWE,
it was the wrong era. It was the wrong time.
And
Vince,
and hell, even Sasha didn't get to this level.
And like I said, folks, I have never accused Vince of being sexist. I've admitted that Vince did with women what the market was doing at the time.
Basically, I'll just say this: all of the promoters, besides Scott D'Amore, have always been wrong.
And I agree. No, 100%.
As far as like back then, they were just wrong about women's wrestling.
100%.
Even Jim has had to admit to that. Like, most of the time, they've just been wrong about women's wrestling.
100%. But again, that's why. Well, especially when we talked to Nick Aldis, he said Mickie has embraced every portion of her career.
Correct.
Which is first of all one of the most humbling things you'll hear.
Right.
And second of all, I think Mickie gets it.
Yeah.
That's where she was working at the time. Folks, once you've been to the major leagues, it's hard to go back to the minors. That's just
that's true.
You know, it's like once you've been to the show, you start going back to these tiny locker rooms. You start going to these stadiums that might hold 1,000 people.
Right.
Literally, some MLB AAA teams barely hold 1,000 people because they stick them in towns in bumshart nowhere. but
yeah,
I mean, folks. Once I hate to say this, but
sorry, Duluth Huskies.
They're not really minor league. They're more.
You're decent.
Well, they're part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're part of it.
But anyway, here's my thing.
Yeah.
Once you've been to Yankee Stadium,
right.
Wade Stadium's nothing.
Yeah, you know.
It hurts. it hurt. But no.
Hell, I've been to Fenway. The Green Monster is insanely impressive.
Yes. But no. Again, arguably, when you look at the totality of the year, why wouldn't she be number one? My only argument is that Raquel looked great all the way through this year, but Bianca, like you said, she shot past the moon. She didn't land among the stars.
Right.
She landed on frickin' Mars and was just like, I own this now.
And here's the thing. I think
and she's on the red brand now too, so that's great. That's a great.
Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. And I didn't want to say it, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
If not for Roman, I really think you would see EST shirts everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
She would be the most popular wrestler in the world, and it would be given.
Yes,
because she deserves it. She's amazing, and she's only gotten better.
Oh yeah.
Which is what you love to see. So
she was an athlete.
I don't know.
So she was.
Here's the deal. I don't know what her peak is.
Right.
When was the last time you were able to say that about a female? Even the Four Horsewomen.
Right.
I think we all saw peaks.
Yeah.
High or low, we saw peaks. But like, folks, Lita, Trish, Tori, Mae Young, there were peaks for all these women.
You're getting to a point.
I don't know where Bianca's is.
You're getting to a point with Bianca where it's like the situation that they have with Becky right now before we get off of this.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that, like, the more she does, the better spots that they keep putting her in, it's going to be really hard to ever turn her heel again. That's the popularity she's at now. Like, but to give WWE a ton of credit, because it's easy to give them a lot of hate, seeing as how what they did with the women's tag division, and sometimes how they've booked the stories. But to give them a ton of credit, they can still, when they do it right, they can still make a megastar.
Oh, Vince is the master of it.
Like that machine still can make an absolute megastar.
Jesse, I hate to say it. Oh, first and foremost, folks, we want to get this out of the way. Best wishes to Hacksaw Jim Duggan battling prostate cancer.
Surgery went well.
Right now,
yep. So he's recovering. So our love to his family.
We've met the man. He is exactly in real life.
He's a sweetheart of a man, isn't he?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Go ahead and meet this man if he's a hero of you. Because he is as real can get. We met him at Turtle Lake. He is exactly the same out of the ring as he was in the ring. Just a humble guy. He loves the fans. He loved what he did. Was never a flashy guy, but was technically sound in his day, and just found a way to become a star. He was
what you would call an upper mid-carder that every now and then made main events.
Yeah,
but he was during his career. He actually had peaks of stardom that damn near rivaled Ric Flair. Like, just because he was such a popular kind of character and lovable character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's always been nice to see him come back to WWE, or hell, a couple times when he's popped back up in NWA during the years. Like, so nothing but the best to him. I was happy to hear that the surgery did go well.
Yep.
The wife kind of put out the photo and all that. So, because I'm like, listen, I don't think we can lose any more legends this year. Like,
it's a bit much.
I said
it would be a little bit too much.
Speaking of
happy
which, to be able to meet.
Yeah.
Oh God, just love him.
Got an autograph picture. Got an autograph from my son.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
to bring
awesome.
home for Evan. Oh, God,
that's awesome.
Jesse, it is Halloween, and something that we hope was a trick, but sadly is not, and it's very eerie and very spooky. You said something in passing last week.
Okay.
About Sinclair never putting a dime into Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
And, folks, it has been made official. As of the first of the year, Ring of Honor will be releasing all of their talent. They are perfectly allowed to sign wherever they want. They're hoping to have some live shows in April, but...
Well, because they've already booked a venue in Dallas, like a 30,000 person venue in Dallas.
But folks, I hate to say it, Ring of Honor, guys, pandemic was not good for Ring of Honor. For what Ring of Honor does, for what they have been famous for, it wasn't. And then again, also Sinclair, I don't know why they ever bought it. Why is Sinclair buying the new Women of Wrestling reboot? Because they never put a dime into ROH. Why the hell are they going to put a dime in a WoW?
Here's the thing. First off, before I get into ROH, let me say this about Sinclair. We often talk about the TV networks, how TNT and TBS sometimes must be frustrated at AEW's numbers, even though they're not paying shit for it.
Yeah, no, they're
compared
not.
to like USA and Fox, but. And that's why sometimes you'll hear about Fox getting on Vince's ass and USA getting on Vince's ass.
Which, by the way...
Which makes the show better, by the way.
And also, by the way, Vince never ignores.
Right.
He always answers with something.
Well, you have to, because they're allowing you to sign those big checks.
Yeah.
So, by paying you so much money.
Yeah.
Sinclair is one of the shittiest broadcast companies of all time. There is no conspiracy. So the video is called Sinclair Puts Out Its Conservative Message. And it's one of the creepiest damn videos of all time. So Sinclair owns a ton of news stations around the country.
Yep.
And local news companies. So they can syndicate whatever show they want.
Right.
And they kind of did this thing where they were just talking, I forget what the hell it was called, and it was kind of creepy. And as it's unfolding with all these TV stations talking about the same message, you realize that you're watching about 340 screens at one time say the same message. It's very apocalypto kind of shit.
Okay.
So they have that kind of power, but they buy two wrestling companies who can use some backing, like some good financial backing, and get back on their feet. Even though, discredit WoW a little bit, to roll out Tessa Blanchard as your big star was stupid.
We'll get into that a little later. But also, Jesse, it's not like ROH needed a budget like Raw.
No, start it with the AEW starting budget.
Yeah.
Which was nothing.
Zero.
That beginning stage was not much.
No, not at all.
Hell, you could run it like TNA used to run theirs.
Well, but once again, this is probably another Turner situation where somebody wanted to buy it. ROH was hot when it was sold.
Yeah.
And then for some strange reason, it's like...
That company didn't do shit with it ever.
If you don't...
No, they did much, no.
If you don't understand what it's going to take in the wrestling business, don't get into it.
So Jeff Jokoff,
kind
of, who is the CEO of Ring of Honor?
COO.
COO.
Yeah.
Kind of basically put it out there, and there's a chance he might get fired for it eventually, but he kind of put it out there. He was like, well, listen, one of the worst things that happened when we were bought by Sinclair was the first time that I asked, like, hey, let's put a little bit more budget. So to kind of throw this out there, pre-COVID, they were planning on putting ROH on TV, local TV, live every week.
Yes.
During COVID, they, of course, to give them a lot of credit, they ran tape shows,
right?
And and even when they weren't active, they were actually paying the wrestlers their full salary.
Yep.
And their crew. So to give Sinclair a ton of credit for that,
even
though you are $1 billion fucking TV corporation,
only $1 billion.
Only $1 billion. Throw a little bit at us. Please, we could use that.
But so to give them a credit on that.
Problem is, Leroy, we will never become a talking head.
Because if they throw the money, then we have to become a talking head for them.
That's not happening.
I don't think you're interested in that.
That's not happening.
No. I have my own opinion. They probably wouldn't like it.
Yep.
So, and Joe Koff kind of put out there like, well, once that died, I was talking to them. Hey, well, when we can get fans back, let's make this plan. Well, apparently they were just never fucking interested.
No.
So Joe Koff kind of, let a couple of top wrestlers let the undercard wrestlers, I think like 5 months ago, know, like, listen, there is a chance if you guys, a lot of you guys, not all of you, including the women of Ring of Honor, by the way, that if you want to, I'm going to find a way to get you out of your contracts at the end of the year after the last pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they're going to turn this place into when they decide to invest.
Yeah.
But it's going to be their show.
Yep.
So I think a lot of the wrestlers have actually known about this for about 5 months that this is coming. But it just stinks.
Next week, Leroy, write this down. We're going to go through the history of Ring of Honor.
Wow.
Which is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun
because they brought me nothing but joy.
Because you actually got to you got to go to more Ring of Honor shows than I did.
I got to go to Masters of the Craft down in Hopkins. Yeah, great show. But no, our buddy Stewie from the Draft Battle podcast.
Okay, yeah,
that we talked about was there with me too,
okay.
and he had a great time. He loved it. But
I was at one in Chicago.
Yep.
When CM Punk made his debut.
Okay.
2002, I think.
Yep.
Insanely awesome.
But anyway, so we're just putting the news out there. The cuts will be as of the first of the year. And
it sounds like a lot of those wrestlers have already been talking to other companies. So
it's interesting. You look at some of the people that have already reportedly contacted AEW. Once again, the problem is you're bringing in a lot of talent. That's real talent. Tony, you can't keep paying 65 people to sit at home.
It's not on here, but you know what? Let's talk about that next week.
Okay.
The fact that they're paying that many people. Abaddon, who was just used.
Yeah.
And Jim Cornette even talked about it where he was like, it's weird. They don't use her very often, and yet she's probably one of the best things that they put on television when they decide to put her on television.
We'll talk about it. So, Leroy, write that down as well.
Because that's a lot of homegrown talent
AEW
that never gets used.
Yeah, AEW not using people. So anyway, just to also get it out there, yes, it's been reported, and I believe that they've already done a show. Mm-hmm. Tommy Dreamer is back with Busted Open on XM Radio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me just say this, because we're going to get a lot of heat for – I don't want to say we're defending what Tommy did. But here's the deal.
There's no defending.
No, there isn't.
He's speaking his mind and his thoughts.
But here's the deal.
Even if they were stupid.
Yes. Here's the deal. You can't,
when he has 2 daughters.
Yeah. You can't get mad at Busted Open for bringing Tommy back.
It's his show.
But here's the deal, folks. I hate to be that guy. You're very quiet on Rick right now. That's pretty much gone away. Once again, cancel culture found something else. And you all
to be fair to people who are quiet on Rick now, it's because Rick finally shut the hell up.
There's that.
That doesn't help too. We have not heard from Rick.
But the thing about it is once again, we don't know the full story.
Right.
We saw one side of the story.
Right.
Tommy, I think, realizes, okay, I need to choose my words more carefully because, again, I don't think Tommy will be back in Impact.
I think he will.
Okay.
But because Scott D'Amore's smart, I gotta let some of this heat die down. You got to start gaining some positive. Okay, he's trying to change this around.
Yeah.
And then they can bring him back into the fold.
But anyway,
that's exactly
eventually.
Yep.
That's exactly what Scott will do.
But now, Jesse, Trick or Treat, New Japan. What are we looking for in the next? I believe this is what I asked you last week.
Yeah.
And you were a little bummed about it, but you weren't bummed. You were like, oh shit, this will be a lot. Okay, so here's how I'm going to phrase the question.
Okay.
All right.
What is being teased in the next year of New Japan?
Okay.
What is going to be a trick for us, something that they're going to swerve us on, and what is going to be a treat for us to look forward to?
So the first one I'll put out there is a treat.
Okay.
I am almost 1,000% certain they're bringing back the former title.
Okay.
There's no way Okada is just walking around with that thing, and there's no plans on bringing that back.
Right.
We said that's the version 4?
The one before the one that Shingo actually has.
And by the way, folks,
sorry, is it Shingo or Ibushi? It's Shingo.
It's Shingo. Ibushi's hurt.
Ibushi's hurt. That's
reports
right.
are just a broken arm. He'll probably be fine.
He's a fucking unicorn. He'll be back in a month. He's weird, man. That dude hasn't aged in 20 years.
Our best wishes to Ibushi.
Best wishes to him, but he'll be back in 2 months.
Broken arm and he's be back in 2 months.
He'll be back in 2 months. Watch.
Jesse. Now, Jesse, I have a question.
He's a superhero.
Jesse, before we move on, I have a question. Who, in your opinion, was supposed to win?
To be honest, when kind of thinking back on the G1, I really do think they wanted to do the Chaos versus my guy Tetsuya Naito's clan and do that story.
Yeah. Tranquilo.
Yeah, it's
Los
Ignoble. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. I'm ashamed right now. I'm gonna get killed when I go to my thing for that.
It's all right. It's all right.
But I think they really wanted to do that story with Bullet Club kind of being involved, Tama kind of messing all that up for everyone, which they started out that way.
Yeah.
And then when Tetsuya
I'm just saying, folks, but the way it ended, you had Yano.
Right.
You had Yano.
Like I said, a part of me did believe, because it felt like they were going that way with violent, funny Yano.
Yeah.
Was that Yano might win this whole damn thing. No, I don't. Like I said, we would all personally love to see him win the championship once.
Once. Just one time.
Because then they would be like, well, shit, let's just keep it on him for a year because this is gaining a lot of traction.
Jesse, here's the deal, though. People watch...
he would make some sort of new DVD while he's champion.
Jesse, we watch The Elite, but that's just not even good comedy at this point. Yano would be entertaining as hell for a year.
By the way,
Yano's
AEW fans, don't tell me you don't like sports entertainment because
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Jesse, the difference is Yano has never attempted to be taken seriously.
Right.
The Young Bucks try to act like, we're tough enough. Yano has never attempted.
Here's the weird thing with Yano. He was semi-serious while being funny, because he was super violent the whole damn thing. But he wasn't and then he would do his yelling promos, but then he would always wink and nod. So you were like, what's going on with this guy right now? Dude, Yano was the best throughout the G1. So that the treat is we're going to get the old title back. The trick is I don't think it's going to Okada.
Really?
I don't think it's going to Okada.
Would you put it on Ospreay or would you do Shingo?
So because they're going to do something that they rarely never do. They're actually going to end up with a fatal 4-way. Okay. Now, I don't because
is Tama the fourth?
Technically, because here I'll say this. Right. I'm thinking he might be the fourth because I think Ibushi would have been the fourth.
Now, why do they not like 4-way dances? What's their thing with that?
So they don't like to book 4-way dances because they are a culture of wrestling that doesn't. It's almost like with triple threat matches.
Yeah,
it's for them. Honor and winning and losing is 1-on-1.
Yeah, okay.
Or even in tag team because one guy pins another, but the team won.
Right. Okay. Fair.
And they just it's in their culture. Going back to Inoki, it's just in their culture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Baba. So
why would this work now? Do you think?
I think it works now because they're four of the biggest stars in the world outside of their company.
True.
Now of course Ibushi got hurt.
Yep.
But Tama ain't nothing to sneeze at. He's having one of the best runs of his career this year.
And actually, it's interesting. When you first came on the show, you never saw Tama ever getting a shot at the title.
I just did. Yeah, I'm like, because he was one of the Bullet Club members.
But then you look at how he's been presented in the last year of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, folks, Tama ain't nothing to sneeze at.
I give Gato and these guys credit. Because here's the thing, Gato and Jado might have joined Bullet Club to kind of change the story, make some interesting stories out of it since the Elite left.
But Gato has avoided the Eric Bischoff
of just
stupidity,
booking all of his friends to be in the world title picture.
Because truth be told, folks, Bullet Club has really come back into just being another New Japan faction since the Bucks and Kenny left.
Correct.
And again, Gato, the booker, is in it.
Yes.
But he's found a way to make chaos, to make the is it the Crown right now?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Whatever Will's got going on.
Yeah.
Empire. I apologize.
Well, so Empire. But he calls himself the Crown Champion never lost his title. Which is true.
We are witnessing Bullet Club still being Bullet Club,
Correct.
but now they're on par with everybody else,
Correct.
and it's not hurting them.
No, it actually makes a lot of the story writing a lot better.
Oh, yeah. And you also don't have people in Mexico, which makes no sense. Los Ingobernables coming back was good because the biggest influence on
to
Naito,
be honest, they might get all of Los Ingobernables. So sorry, guys. Winners, members.
Yes,
because the other two guys in AAA are going to be free agents.
But here's the deal, Jesse. I think one of the biggest things that has helped them out is that we all can tell the biggest influence on Naito from Excursion was Mexico.
Oh yeah,
without a shadow.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's just what I see.
He's so cool.
I love him so much.
He's so cool.
What I see is so what you're kind of telling me is New Japan. I don't want to say they booked themselves into an issue because they didn't.
No.
But they're at a point where Gato sees the tea leaves here. He's reading what he has to do.
Right. And unfortunately, I'm starting to get a feel that Jay White is not long to stay very much longer.
Really? Okay.
I do get that feeling. He seems to very much be enjoying his travels, especially to America.
Now, do you see Jay as somebody who would go sign with Vince, or do you see Jay as someone that would want to test his moxie other places?
I will say this. He would probably test himself elsewhere.
Yeah.
But, man, Triple H would be in his ear if he knew Jay White is coming up on a free agent period.
And by the way, I look at Jay White very similar to an MJF.
Yeah.
Why not go try the best company in the world? Because arguably they are.
I will say this.
Why not?
If MJF went to Vince, he ain't coming back.
No.
No. MJF's only like 23 years old, 24. He ain't coming back.
By the way, I hate to be that guy. As much fun and
him and Warlow are gone.
But here's the deal. As much fun as I think he's having in AEW, and we'll talk about that from Rhodes to the Top in a little bit here, sadly.
Well, it is news we got to report.
I look at Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and I look at him, and I'm like, what are they really doing with you?
Nothing.
You'd be crazy not to go to a place that would gush over you.
I mean, he makes storylines work because he's MJ frickin' ass.
Yes.
But, otherwise, nothing. FTR is finally in the title picture, but they're back in the title picture. Oh, weird, because the Bucks aren't in it.
Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe.
Which, by the way, folks, here's the deal. If Tony's officially in charge the way that he says he is, why has he not already called the Briscoes? I'm sorry, but the Briscoes should have had 18 missed calls.
See, he would probably bring up, and people are bringing up. But
the Bucks are going to tell him no, because I've already said this to people. Everyone's like, I want to see the Bucks and the Briscoes. The Bucks are going to do everything they can to make sure it doesn't happen.
I think the Briscoes are going to have a 3-month period.
They're the new GCW tag team champions.
Well, they're gonna have to have a 3-month period at the beginning of the new year of just doing independent wrestling.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, he made a homophobic tweet.
Yeah.
Which Jay has apologized recently over because I forgot about that and I shouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
But they come from a conservative background, but he's gotten to travel the world a lot, and so they've both been like, well, listen, we've learned a lot. And we both should have been better about this.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some heat their way. As
I'm also not a fan personally of going that far back into people's tweets. And
unfortunately, that was only like 3 years ago.
But see, Jesse, to me, it's still too long. But that's a personal decision.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with what Jay said.
Yeah.
But again, I've always said.
But like I said, I get a feeling they're going to take a little heat. So whoever does sign him is going to have to wait a couple months.
But I'll say this much: I still think, and
hell, it can all blow over by Christmas.
Exactly,
it's a story right now.
Yeah, here's the deal, folks. But
I will say this,
and only the Bucks.
Vince will come calling.
Oh yes.
The Briscoes are so damn good and so ugly.
Yeah. Vince
is going to come calling.
But here's the deal, folks. And the only two people that can deny this are, in fact, Matt and Nick. I don't think the Bucks will do anything they can to Tony to make sure that he doesn't sign the Briscoes.
Listen, LAX still hasn't had a fucking championship run in AEW. The Briscoes, listen, and I get that they have a good working relationship with the Bucks, but, man, don't do it. Don't do it.
The Bucks, in my opinion, and I'm being serious, even to their own brainwashed fans, if they just go out, because here's the deal: the Bucks are going to tell the Briscoes we're going to bury you. Really?
No, not
really?
a chance in hell.
Really? No, it's not happening.
You will get dumped on the crown of your dome in front of those fans.
The Briscoes and the Bucks. But here's the problem, Jesse. If they go out and just have a match, regardless of who's calling, the Briscoes are going to outclass them in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
The Briscoes are going to outdo them in 5 minutes.
Here's the simple thing. The Briscoes are going to sit there. He's going to look at him and say, hey, chicken, let's go make him our bitch.
By the way,
that's what they're gonna do.
You've been blessed to see them live, too.
Oh, God.
Man, they're fun, aren't they?
Oh, they're good.
They're a lot of fun.
They are.
But to get back to New Japan, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent.
No, it's good.
So, like I said, the trick is Okada will not be champion.
Okay.
But I will say the threat is there because, like Tanahashi, he's the other golden boy.
Oh, yeah.
So if they ever have a question.
Not according to Tama, but
give him the tag.
Tama's just making a good promo.
I'm about to say, Tama's just being a good heel.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, Tama. I love you, brother, and I also love your podcast. But yeah, that man is the other golden boy, the prime golden boy right now.
Yes.
Since they don't know about Tanahashi's knees. The other treat I think we are going to get is you're about to see a lot more Stardom in New Japan.
Really?
Now they had this meeting 2 years ago. Of course, COVID happened. The beginning of COVID happened.
I believe we shared was with the owner.
Correct.
Is Meng willing to break culture?
So what he said was,
I know they've had women already at Wrestle Kingdom, but they were more of a pre-show type idea than a real main card feel.
And so what he was saying was, he said it's time for a change.
Okay.
So here's the interesting part about New Japan Pro Wrestling and the actual country and culture of the Japanese people. Well, women are already pretty much inundated into their culture, outside of the shit we know about anime and stuff like that, and some of that weird shit. But it's their culture. I didn't mean to just say weird shit, but some of it's a little weird to us here in America.
It's kind of entertaining. I like some of that stuff.
No, I love anime. It's when you get to some of the lolly dressing and all of that, where I'm like,
that's not on my radar.
Feels a little pedophilic, but okay. Yeah. And usually the girls are over 18, but it just feels that way to me. But yeah, so
they look really young.
They do look really young. Even when they're like 25, they look like they're 13, and it is uncomfortable. But
I need all your paperwork to find out if you're over 18. Really? Is this true? Where's your mom? Let me ask her.
It gets a little scary.
Oh.
But yeah, another treat we're going to get is that they talked about this with Bushiroad. The reason they want to include Stardom more, especially on the big shows, is because they feel if they can get, if they can feature the women a bit more on the bigger shows, including the Bushiroad shows, like doing conjoined, the 14-day tour with the Stardom wrestlers, then budgeting-wise for both companies, big thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
So, because then they can be like, well, listen,
so
we'll just have the women on the same show.
So basically the biggest treat is there is the potential for quite the Japanese boom.
Yeah, I think by, I'll say March, the end of March next year, we're going to know fully if they're going to bring that in. Unfortunately, the next trick is we're going to get teased with Yano more. Because the G1 was so good.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to tease that they may throw him into the main title picture. I don't think they're going to do it. So I think that's going to be a continued trick where you're like, oh my God, he's going to wrestle Okada. He lost.
If he wins that belt.
Oh, he's going to wrestle Jay. Oh, he lost.
If Yano ever wins, that opens our show. Nothing will top that. Nothing can top it.
We will cry.
We will cry on air.
I'm pretty sure Steven Larson will cry. Yes. There will be a lot of wrestling reviews, but it finally happened. We will all cry because the man is amazing.
We will have to make our own version of text from the other room. Why are you crying? And just a picture of Yano with the belt.
Treat. Lance Archer's going back.
Oh, thank
Lance Archer is going back.
And Gato's gonna say, "Don't do that shit."
Yeah, he like, well, you don't. Hope so. I've never allowed you to do moonsaults here. Why would I start now?
Why am I starting now? Please don't.
Thank God, because we need to keep him around.
So when he was watching the G1, he tweeted, "Man, I do kind of miss this." And yeah, it's starting to rain out there. And apparently, it's one of those things where apparently there's been a conversation again with Gato and Jado and the heads.
And no one's really talking about Lance never really signed a long-term deal.
No, he did not.
Lance has really been on kind of a year-to-year type basis.
I believe the option for that deal is April. We'll have to research that.
Yep.
But I believe it's right after WrestleMania.
Okay.
So I think the treat we're getting is Lance Archer is going back.
Which would be great for Suzuki-gun.
Trick is Minoru Suzuki is not winning the world championship. Minoru Suzuki,
but that's been a trick for years.
I know, but also Minoru Suzuki may not be back in this country until 2023. So
Jesse, we have to talk about this though,
and I missed him.
We'll have to think about it. We'll look at it next time. But but Jesse,
Jesse got depressed.
Yeah, but Jesse, to sort of talk about that in a great light. That was truly one of the treat of treats.
To get Minoru Suzuki in America.
And by the way, folks, he worked small, big, medium.
Yep. He was everywhere.
Minoru Suzuki came over and he just wanted to wrestle at 50-something.
I'm so mad that I did not make it to South Dakota to go see that show. Oh, my hero.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been like, please punch me, sir. Yes, I would have been knocked out. I wouldn't have been able to watch the match.
Actually, Jesse, he was only 4 hours away in Minnesota.
I know.
He was in Dentworth, Minnesota. Of all the towns in the world that I found existed, y'all got to see that. Anyway.
I'm jealous, super jealous.
But I mean, Jesse, truly, and Jesse, that's not an AEW thing. That was just him.
No, it was New Japan going, to be fair, we haven't really let you go over there unless we were there.
Yeah.
We don't got nothing for you right now. Go ahead, dude.
And by the way, folks, I don't think his star's been brighter in years.
Listen.
He's a hot commodity right now.
Because the world finally got to kind of really see him.
It's not about in-ring with him, Jesse. It's an aura.
Yeah.
It's about the aura of he is one of the original MMA guys.
Yeah.
And while I believe him to be one of the most respectful men in the world, ultimately, he's still someone you don't fuck with.
Well, that's why he gets the respect, because you're like, I'm not pissing that dude off.
I'm only bummed that Biden didn't call Meng and be like, can I borrow him to get these vaccination rates up? Because I don't think anyone's saying no. I don't think anyone's saying no if Mr. Suzuki is there.
No, you take that thing. Because you will get knocked out on the spot.
All right.
And then my last treat.
Yep.
My last treat. I can't believe I'm saying this. You will see the Impact Women's title defended in Japan.
All right.
Let me give some heads up on why.
All right, yeah, please.
I'd like. That's nice.
So Scott D'Amore was asked recently about a lot of the New Japan talent coming back through there and things of that nature.
Yeah.
He said New Japan has really, really loved a lot of that.
Well, but here's the other thing. The people who messed up Okada are no longer there.
That's true, thank God. How do you mess up Okada? Anyway.
We'll get into that later.
So, and what he's talked about is,
Okada deserves to be a GOAT just for overcoming that.
Right.
It's just insanity.
They booked him as the Green Hornet psych. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
That actually happened.
That happened.
That happened.
Dixie Carter. Anyway, so, of course, he talked about the Stardom thing, which, of course, I just brought up.
Yep.
And he said, I've been talking to them. If they do that, I would actually, at one of their big shows, since they now want to kind of start bringing some of our wrestlers over there, I would actually like to have our women's champion, which apparently New Japan loves a lot of the women in the division.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know how you don't.
Yeah.
To me, they only have sorry, AEW, they have the second best women's division in America.
Yeah.
WWE still does have the best. It's also because it's so damn deep.
Oh God!
From Raw to SmackDown to NXT to the women that Bayley even use. It's a deep fucking women's division.
It's a roster that you would kill to have on any wrestling show.
Okay. And the only reason Vince still has it is because he's super rich.
Yep. Did you see our favorite girl posing with her title?
Listen.
I've
never fainted while driving. I got close.
I totally understand. I was like,
can the title just move down 2 centimeters?
Jordan Grace, you're a lovely young lady.
And she loves black men, so holler at me if you ever become single. Anyway, yeah, I damn near fainted when I saw that. But yeah, so I got a feeling by August of next year, so around Summer Struggle.
Yep.
I believe, and by the way, this is a big reason why I believe Mickey was given the championship.
Okay.
I believe you're going to see the Impact Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Defended on a New Japan Pro
Which
Wrestling, which, by the way, will be history making.
It'd be fantastic.
Last trick.
Yep.
Last trick. I'm upset to say it. I believe the Tongans will actually go and do a run in AEW.
Really?
I do. I hate the thought.
Yeah.
Guys, look in my face, man. I loathe the thought.
Yes, I know you do.
But
you're gonna hand Tony Khan arguably the best tag team in the world.
You're gonna give them the best tag team in the world to lose to the fucking Bucks.
Yep.
Now, AEW fans right now will be happy.
Yes.
Now, I know some people are like, man, where are you getting this from? Just some rumors.
Yep.
But I get a sense, especially with the banter between all of them.
And nothing against the Tongas. I feel like they're the type of guys who would do a job.
Well, and here's the thing. They actually kind of do have some small, especially for Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, who they're going to beat,
yes.
by the way, when that match happens.
Because again, despite his odd dealings with his own personality right now, Machine Gun is someone that is welcome back in New Japan with open arms. Anytime he
Just
wants.
Shut up about Vince, please.
Yeah, good God.
He sounds like a bitter ex-girlfriend.
He sounds like someone who wasn't at the top of the tag team card and the main event card virtually the entire time. When exactly were they jokes? And yes, they did a couple of fun little matches with other tag teams, but they were part of the tag team division.
Right.
But arguably, when they did their own shit, they were at the top of the card.
They were multiple-time tag team champions in WWE. I mean, I don't understand your anyway. You will, unfortunately.
It was the New Japan Cup thing that bothered him.
Maybe
probably he's an ass at this point, but otherwise, yeah. If Tony's smart, the Tongans win the feud. If Tony is smart,
here's the thing I don't understand. And I'm going to what is considered to be, and I'll say it. You guys might find it weird that I'll say it. Arguably the smartest fan base in all of wrestling. It is the AEW fan base.
They're very intelligent.
Yeah. Well, no.
I just mean
smart
dumbest
to their
hypocritical shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just mean smart to their own stuff.
Yeah.
Love
you, Cal. Not you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
Even you. How visually are the Bucks supposed to beat Gorilla?
Bruh.
They're not.
Bruh, if they got a chance to come to WWE, even Vince would be like, yeah, I might have the Usos go over you, but they're going to have to cheat a lot.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Well, he would book that right if they were going to go over them.
Jesse, the Tongans would find a way to make Cutlet and knock it the fuck off my television. They would eliminate them very quickly. Very quickly.
Not gonna ever probably work in another pro wrestling company again at this point.
Who's gonna want them to wrestle?
Nobody.
Not gonna want to sell a T-shirt that has his fucking name on it. I could keep going with that.
He's Kenny's personal assistant.
Not gonna ever have a wife again.
Knocka, get on his knees still.
But no, Jesse.
So that was my last trick or treat,
right.
And like I said, I think it will be a treat to see them in America.
But
I have a feeling what was gonna happen.
Yeah. So anyway, Jesse, you just gave us our trick or treat for New Japan in the coming year. Lot to look forward to.
Yes.
Some stuff that maybe could happen a certain way, or could go the other way.
Well, this is not a trick nor treat. But a lot of the excursion guys that they got back, I forget the big man's name in Empire, Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
That's going to become your new main event scene in New Japan.
And Cobb is looking forward to it, by the way. You know, Cobb says that's the place to be. From something that made Jesse both happy and sad, folks, Rhodes to the top.
Hey, man, that's all you, buddy.
Has had their season finale.
That's all you and Jim Cornette. I'm good.
I am here to confirm everything that Jim said is true. Jesse, a buck was shown, blurred out. We're just going to get that out of the way.
Whoa.
They blurred out one of the Bucks?
Yep.
Thank God.
So clearly they don't get along.
It's kind of obvious.
Jesse, by the way, it was in passing he was blurred. He didn't say anything. Nothing happened. And by the way, so the season finale, basically, I'll just explain.
That's amazing.
Goes from them in the hospital explaining something we've already known for over a year, that you can't have
They had a baby?
Well, that, but also you can't have family in the hospital due to COVID. Thanks for that bit of information, Brandy. No one knew that, but thanks for that.
No one else in the world experienced that.
Also, Jesse,
Atlanta has never had any interracial
Jesse,
babies.
by the way, I think the Rhodes family listens to us.
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
They saved the placenta because Brandy wants to do this thing where they put it into pill form and she takes it.
I'm out.
They literally gave us a placenta. There is a scene in a parking garage where Cody Rhodes is carrying a cooler and he gives it to QT.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen the meme, fuck this shit, I'm out? I would have been done at that point.
You want to know what? Okay, hold on a second. This is the strangest reality show I've ever seen, and here's why. They do time jumps worse than a SpongeBob episode.
I believe you.
From the moment he handed the placenta over, it was 5 days later. 5 days was the first time jump. Which, by the way,
and they had the placenta.
Hold on.
They
We didn't go any farther into the pill thing, okay?
That's so weird.
But anyway, here's the deal.
It is weird. I've seen weirder.
But it's still weird. So 5 days later, Cody is leaving the house to go back to the AEW tapings. Everyone there is congratulating him. Mark Henry does a beautiful thing. I mean, they had a child. We're not going to besmirch that.
That's lovely.
That's awesome.
It is the first biracial baby in the history of Atlanta, Georgia.
The first.
Yes.
But anyway, Maxwell Jacob Friedman was great because he was himself. He goes, "Hey, you guys had a baby. That's wonderful." No, I'm just kidding. Go fuck yourself. So MJF was fine. MJF was great. Yeah. We haven't seemed to break any real mask showings or anything like that. We haven't done that.
Good.
Then, and I'm not shitting you, it's time for Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black, who was interviewed for the show.
Malachi was?
And basically said, I just came off of television from another major wrestling company, so it's weird. Cody and Brandy can say WWE. No one else has been able to say WWE. I don't understand that. If you can say it, they can say it. I don't understand why that's a thing. But this whole show, everyone has talked about another company, and it's been WWE.
It's clearly WWE.
But Brandy and Cody on the sit-down couch interviews have said the letters. I don't understand who the hell's editing that. But anyway, this is what bothers me the most. And Jesse, move the mic because you're going to flip.
Uh-oh.
So Cody Rhodes, we already talked about how he was so he's in the car after the match with QT.
Correct.
And he says, "I was born in Charlotte." So he's still trying to get over the fact he was booed in his hometown. Now Brandy wants to come back as a heel because that's what the fans want. No, they want you to go away.
Let's go away, Heat. That's not heel.
Good news. Good news. We're not done with Brandy yet.
No, that's
Cody,
not good news.
So here's the deal. Cody Rhodes, loses to Malachi. This is the second match, by the way, because we're not at the third yet. The second match, Malachi puts the foot on, he wins. Cody cuts that thing with the boot, or where he puts his boots in the ring.
First match, then.
Oh,
that was the first one.
That was the first one. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, what bothered me the most, and Jesse, this is the part where I need you to protect the microphone.
Okay.
Malachi Black is in the back, standing next to Dustin Rhodes, watching Cody cut that promo. And basically what ended up happening is Cody had a conversation with Tony Khan in the back about how I need to be done for a little while. And it's like, you're tired, you've been burning the candle at both ends, and you just had a kid. We all get that. Yeah. Funny story, though. They had the baby. 5 days later, he's back. Hangman Page couldn't do the same fucking thing, apparently. No, we had to keep him on television for a month. We'll get into that in a little bit. Anyway, Jesse, hold on. Malachi Black, Aleister Black, Tommy End.
Tommy fucking End.
Said, and I quote, to Dustin Rhodes, "Your brother just made me, and I'll never forget it. Thank you." So apparently Tommy End doesn't think he was ever over.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm not going to flip about him saying that. You want to know why?
He's a respectful motherfucker.
Because I've met Tommy End.
Yeah.
And he's an incredibly humble human being.
Which is fair.
So that it's not in him to think high of himself, which sucks because he's so fucking good.
Oh, God. Jim actually loves him. After the last match with Cody, which by the way was featured, we're not done with the reality show here. Jim is now right. Why are we afraid of Malachi anymore? Because they ruined it with the Rhodes thing. But we'll get to that in a second. But go ahead and continue your thing about Tommy.
But I am mad at Dustin. You want to know why? Because he should have put his arm around him and gone, you didn't need my brother to be over. Just, it's one of those things. And if Dustin would have taken a shot at Vince, I'm okay with it. You want to know why? Because Dustin actually has a relationship with Vince.
Yes.
Yep.
But he could have been like, hey, they failed you up there.
Yep.
And
even Vince will admit that.
And here's the thing. You did everything they asked. You came down here. You've done everything we've asked while you've also had some freedom. Like, you've done this yourself, man.
Yep. Yeah.
That's it. I'm not actually even going to scream because I unfortunately have met not unfortunately, but I have met Tommy and unfortunately and I say unfortunately because he's so good.
Yeah.
And it's like I've been on the Twitch thing and he talks back with his fans a lot, and even then guys are like, man, I saw you there, man, you're so fucking great. And he's just like, nah, man, I'm really not. Like I just try to go. Like he's just genuinely humble guy. Like that's just who he is.
Which is great. No,
which is great. Like he doesn't get too hot.
Now it gets.
But fuck Cody Rhodes. Are you kidding me?
Hold on. Nope. Save that. We're not done yet. So hold on a sec. Remember I said that the time thing was weird?
Yeah.
So Cody goes through this weird 2.5 minutes of like saddening, tear-jerking, I'm leaving AEW. But despite the fact he already in that conversation with Tony, and I'm not joking, this is actually how this conversation went. I need some time away. We go to Tony making the face of, oh my God, what? And then we go to commercial, brilliant editing.
Mm-hmm.
We come back. Tony says, how long? And then fucking Cody says, I don't know, but then he goes, but the plan is for me to return at Arthur Ashe, right? That's how that conversation actually went. Just smooth into it. Hold on. The time jump jumps 6 goddamn weeks. From 5 days to 6 weeks. Now we're in the gym with Brandy, who has lost, I believe she said somewhere along the lines of 60-some pounds.
She lost a lot of the baby fat, basically.
A lot of the baby fat in 6 weeks.
60.
I'm not done.
Jesus Christ, I don't think
35 might have been closer.
Yeah, that would have been better than 60.
I was going to say it was probably 30.
Yeah,
but
it was probably 35.
She basically lost the baby weight.
But anyway,
she was 60.
Which I know most women will talk about.
This whole episode, she cannot shut the fuck up about having a comeback. From what?
I wish Cody would take his comeback. Oh my God!
I'm not done. No, hold on. Say
what is wrong with these two people?
I'm not done. No, hold on.
Just
you two, hold on. We gotta get through this. Let me get through this before we did it. Anyway, Brandy says I want to be heel because that's
so bad for that child.
Hold on. Brandy says she wants to be. There's less talent in this child than there was in the Kardashian kid, but that's another story. Because Kanye, I'm sorry, but you combine with Kim Kardashian, the genes ain't great.
Well, there's talent in the kid, but now you got to worry about mental health issues.
That's fair. Here's the deal. Brandy wants to be a heel because that's what the fans want. Yeah. Cody says you should be face. I don't know why he says it.
Fans want her to be heel.
I'm not done with that. No, Jesse, hold on. It gets worse. Hold on. You guys may interrupt me when I get to the next point because this is where everything went off the rail. Hold on.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Hold on, it gets worse. This is where it goes off the rail.
I don't know how it can get worse.
Oh, believe me. So now we get to the match. Now
you're fucking kidding me.
Now we get to Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe. Okay, all right.
Brandy is talking about coming back, right? She legitimately, and I'm not shitting you, she wanted a church choir. And she wanted to be singing with the choir. As she wanted the Bobby Roode entrance when he was the glorious one. I don't know why, but she did. Hold on, I'm not done. Jesse, here's the most egregious thing. So she comes out with Cody, right?
Do the heel tunnel, by the way.
Folks, People got on WWE because they edited the Royal Rumble to show fans cheering when Roman won.
Yeah.
Even though we all know that's not what happened.
True.
They showed not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different camera shots after Brandy walked out on the stage, and it was of the fans cheering and going crazy and clapping, and she said, and I quote, Jessie, prepare yourself, that reaction means, oh, they never forgot me. That means that they didn't forget me.
Leroy.
Oh, my God. We want to forget her, for Christ's sakes.
Leroy, they're so
Lord.
delusional. You want to know what happened when she came out?
They're on Hopamine.
They fucking booed her!
Oh, by the way,
they booed her!
Hey, boys, you keep discussing this moment, but I'm just putting out a little fun teaser. I haven't gotten to the worst part of the show. Go ahead.
They booed her! That's not the worst part?
No, it's not.
I had to double take. That's not the worst part?
No,
Holy
it's not.
Shit.
You two discussed that.
They're so delusional.
Yes, they're smoking crack with their first bilingual baby in Atlanta.
Biracial.
The first ever
biracial baby in Atlanta, Georgia.
God forgive. Please.
She was... Dude, listen. When WWE did that, that was clearly...
They showed her doing... Dude, no bullshit. They showed her doing the WWE... What's the thing where they bounce off the ropes when they come back from that concussion?
Oh,
the bump test, basically?
Yeah.
They showed her doing that with QT. Don't know why that had to be there, because she sucked at it. That was bad.
I've never seen...
But get back to your discussion before I get to the worst part of the show.
Two of the most delusional motherfuckers. And, like, the worst part... Because he might be getting to the worst part of the show, but I think the worst part of this whole show culminated to, I think that was 2 weeks ago now, on fucking Dynamite with that promo from Cody. Get the fuck out of here. Now, somebody, of course, made the joke, man, 2016 Roman Reigns is getting Cody Rhodes level heat. No. That might be funny to you guys. No. Roman Reigns got heat because he wasn't booked very well. People were sick of seeing him.
Yeah.
That was it. That was literally, if they would have turned him heel, back then he would have been fine.
Yep.
Okay, because then you could have had a mega baby face right now.
Yep.
These two motherfuckers are so delusional that she thinks she's a megastar enough to have a choir when she's just a manager when she comes back? Are you fucking kidding me?
Is it too early to say what I'd like to say?
Nope.
Randy?
Nope.
No,
Don't do it.
I can't do it yet.
Don't do it. You boys are about to whip off the headsets.
Go for the last one.
The worst. No,
I can barely take this now.
It's not the last part, but it's the worst part of the show. Boys, I got bad news. Leroy, you listened to Jim, right?
Yeah.
Jim wasn't kidding. Brandy did the sit-down spot for the reality show. Not for Dynamite. That was solely so the reality show had footage. They didn't have to say it, but the way they showed it and the way they talked about it, yep. That's all it was. It was Malachi Black was in a spot for a reality show. That's all it was, Jesse. On live in your backyard.
Oh, my God.
They shot a moment solely for a reality show.
They booed the shit out of her in New York, by the way.
Oh, they did.
Wow.
Go away. I want her to go away.
I don't know if I can say it to both of them or just one of
them. Go
ahead.
Say it to both of them.
Does it matter at this point?
The Rhodes family, shut the fuck up.
Dustin!
Get off TV.
I understand your brother is 33. He's a year older than me.
Slap them.
Slap the shit out of your brother! Yeah. This is insanity!
Oh, my God.
This is insanity! And Dustin, he's admitted, like, I've done some really terrible things in my day.
Yep.
But you know what he didn't do?
Didn't slap the shit out of his little brother.
No, he didn't record himself doing it. This is stupid. This show is stupid. What did I say? The moment we saw the preview, I said, this is fucking stupid. I'm not watching that.
They actually got farther and farther away from the backstage stuff as the season went on. It focused more and more on the least two interesting people at AEW.
Doesn't matter. Show shouldn't have existed. didn't even get. I've heard from Jim. Maybe it didn't even do great ratings.
It didn't.
So it probably won't get a season 2, unless because of course TNT is Warner Brothers, and of course right now, for people who don't know, there is conversation that they will kind of maybe at some point put AEW's content on HBO Max,
but it'll be on TBS.
Well, even if they're on TBS, the content will
will be good for this because that's the comedy network.
So,
but this isn't even good comedy.
So maybe they will get a season 2 and it'll just be on HBO Max.
Oh God! Yeah. Please don't put it on cable.
But this is fucking dumb.
309,000.
Oh no! Oh, so it does Rampage numbers. So it does Rampage numbers.
It doesn't do Rampage numbers. It does numbers like Rampage in the sense that it's been going down ever since. By the way, Rampage.
Last week was 340.
By the way, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Rampage actually lost to the replay of SmackDown.
Yes, it did.
That was on FS1.
Yeah.
So apparently the replay could be on FS1 and the live show still lose. So let's forget that we put a bunch of work into this particular well, we did in the buy-in, not the actual Rampage. Let's forget the fact that we were sitting there saying to ourselves, we're going to compete head-to-head for an hour. They didn't even compete with you and you still lost.
Right.
Oh, by the way, they were 2.1 million back on regular Fox.
Right. Now they'll have low numbers again because they were on FS1 again.
Yep.
I love Pat McAfee. He's like,
baseball sucks.
Baseball sucks. See you next week on Fox. But here's the thing.
I love his dance.
Now we could just transition into AEW, which, to give them credit, I actually thought they had 2 decent shows this week.
Jesse, I'm still not done.
Oh shit!
You're kidding. I thought
that was the end.
No, it wasn't.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't.
How long was the show?
It was only a half hour.
And so much placenta.
No, we never saw that part.
Did you cuddle? You had to cuddle up with the wife after this because you had to cry, didn't you?
No. She was at work.
Did you have a couple shots?
Oh yeah.
I can understand.
Oh hell yeah.
Couple shots. Little chlorine.
Wait, the show's only a half an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. I think.
Wow.
I think he had to wash his eyeballs too after that because.
I'm taking shits 20 minutes long that sound better than the show
and more satisfying.
Well, they were definitely more satisfying.
So what shit happened?
Let me just point something out, okay?
Yeah.
How do you have a half an hour show? Well, then again, I do watch Rampage and Dynamite, so
yeah.
Let
me just explain this.
That has actually better content.
Let me just say this.
For what? Yeah.
Let me just say this.
Dynamite is better than something.
Let me just say this, okay? When I tell you there's more, after they returned at Arthur Ashe, we actually, and I'm not shitting you, had to sit through damn near 5 minutes of these two once again just jerking themselves up. You think the Bucks are bad? Cody Rhodes actually fits in perfectly with these jackoffs because Brandy is the single most delusional human being I've ever seen. She actually, I think, legitimately, or maybe they gave her some saline, she legitimately was tearing up thinking that the fans had not forgotten her. She would not stop talking about how she's 38, why not now? This is the time to do it. I can still go. You never went. You never even started. I don't know where.
There's water in there, right? Yeah, I interrupted him to ask for water because this is disgusting. And I don't want to puke. Continue, Zach.
These two.
And this all happened in a half an hour?
Oh, yeah.
You poor son of a bitch.
Well, then look at the bright side. Like I said, Jesse, the time jumps are not even consistent in any way.
I would have jumped half an hour to not watch this shit.
Brandy Rhodes, I'm not shitting you, had the same energy as the behind-the-scenes thing on Beth Phoenix. I'm not joking. She acted like she had a career that was worth coming back to.
You're right. But you know what? That's why they probably don't get along. Because there's so much delusion
in AEW.
And
Tony Khan, every time we've rarely seen Vince talk to someone, even when he talked to Taker during the last ride, it was professional, it was this, it was that. I'm not shitting you. Cody comes back from beating Malachi Black, because that's what we went to. Or no, actually, no. The funny part is this show came on after the Saturday night episode where he beat Malachi. So now we're watching Malachi be made to look strong but be humbled backstage, and right after we saw Cody beat him up. Anyway, Tony Khan is sitting there, and I'm not shitting you. You can't necessarily hear what he's saying outside of the back. I literally think they're creating backstage moments just so he and Tony can get time on this reality show. Because Tony Khan isn't shown working with anyone else, isn't shown talking to anyone else. He's in Cody's dressing room by himself with a cameraman half this goddamn season. But anyway, Tony Khan gushed over the Malachi Black thing at Arthur Ashe. He actually thought that was one of the best things they ever produced. Tony Khan actually...
By the way, at Arthur Ashe, he actually won again, to be fair.
Yes. But Jessie, well, it was still a train wreck with Brandy.
Well, because she needed to be there.
But Jessie...
She is a train
Jessie,
wreck.
no one, after what I just watched, not you, not Gene, no one can convince me that Tony's playing a character online anymore. He actually believes 99% of the shit that he says. He actually thinks that this Rhodes to the top thing is good for AEW. And Jessie, despite you giving us some rumors when I first reviewed the show, they were nowhere to be found. The Elite, one of them, I think it was Balding Buck, whichever one that is on Jim's show.
I think it's
Nick. Nick passed through. He was blurred out. That I can confirm I saw that.
Well, I was going to say I was the one who kind of started to put out the kind of the facts that were coming out that those guys weren't actually all on the same page and getting along anymore.
You broke that before the rest of the internet did.
Right.
You broke that on this show.
Right. Because so like I said, I went to one of my rumor sites, and there was too. It's the old saying, there's too much smoke for there not to be a fucking fire here.
Oh, it's a blaze. It's a blaze, and there's no glory.
And,
because Jessie,
because when I first
and it was in passing. It wasn't even like they were sitting on camera.
Right.
They are no. The Elite is nowhere near this show.
By the way, apparently Cody Rhodes hasn't been on BTE in over a year. So all I'm saying is there's, to me, it's just one of these things. He's on Sammy's vlog a lot though. To be honest, I actually like Sammy and Sammy's vlog, so I'm good with it.
Oh yeah.
Sammy's a great guy.
Oh yeah. Sammy's awesome dude.
But
made one mistake, and we're all past it.
I'm about to say, done with it.
We should be.
We're done with it. She forgave him. He's good. He's doing some of his best work in his young career. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
But all those rumors, and you're like, okay, yeah, well, the behavior patterns are fucking making sense here.
Jessie, the saddest part about it is they couldn't hide it because their show was imitating it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cody, the last time I remember Cody actually having a moment with the Elite was their New Year's Eve episode.
Yes.
That is actually what I remember to be the last recorded time he worked with the Elite.
Right.
Cody's been on his own shit since.
He's done Cody Islands almost since they started. When probably he should have been the first AEW World Champion.
Should have been. Mm-hmm. Especially since he had just come off that New Japan run.
And here was the thing, because I agree with most at the time. Like, man, it should have been Kenny. Like, I don't know what the fuck Kenny's doing. Like, because really, when he's not happy feet, because he didn't show a lot of that in New Japan. So that's why at that time I said I think he's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of the flaws now Jim Cornette has talked about in AEW,
and you can't ignore them.
You just can't ignore it.
Oh, by the way, folks, we watched. Did you finally get a chance to watch MAW on Fight?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll be watching it tonight when I'm done scaring people.
Here's the funny part. Here's the really funny part.
We watched match on there.
Yeah, which I've heard nothing but great things about.
Here's the funny part, Leroy. We watched that entire show.
Yeah.
Nobody grabbed the middle rope when they bounced off the ropes.
And that's true.
Sorry, Orange Cassidy.
That has to be taught out of you.
And you know what's really interesting?
Mm-hmm.
The camera angle. When you're watching the MAW show.
Yeah.
All right. Zach's over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. Zach.
That's where they told me to stand.
I know. They told us where to stand, and
that's where they had
I was
me.
like, oh, there I am. Oh, there's Zach. Well, there I am.
But Jesse,
shit.
But Jesse, before we get into AEW, they are so out of touch,
right,
with what
By the
is
way,
action.
can't wait for Women of the Nation show. It's going to be a great show.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Folks, they are so out of touch, Brandy and Cody. They actually think they are Edge and Beth. They think they're Edge and Beth. They think that the fans are clamoring.
I think they think they're Triple H and fucking Stephanie.
Oh no, 100% they believe that.
Oh, yes.
Brandy Rhodes this entire show was basically the Black Stephanie in the way Stephanie's been on camera for years or even backstage.
Yeah.
But see, the problem is for me, at least to me, when it's been backstage stuff, Stephanie has been very genuine.
I was going to say,
Stephanie has actually been very realistic.
She comes up very kind to everyone backstage. Like, Like, I'm like, okay, so she's a kind human being. She just plays a complete dick on television.
Yes.
Well,
but Brandy
has broken character at ringside.
Jesse.
Good man.
Oh,
Paul Levesque's a good man.
I want to point this out because it was on her nameplate on the show. I love Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
I miss him every day of my life. That is not a joke.
We all do.
I do, too.
But Vicky Guerrero was shown on the show with a nameplate, AEW coach.
By the way, and I don't mean to cut you off. I got the chance to go back and watch the Brian Pillman because I never finished part 2 of Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring.
I feel like Minneapolis is cursed because we lost Brian
Pillman in Minneapolis
and Eddie Guerrero in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. Vicky Guerrero was nameplated AEW coach. I'm sorry, what?
What?
She according to Rhodes to the Top, she is a coach in AEW.
Well, what she can teach is promos because she's pretty damn good at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Like, she knows how to get under your skin. She's very good at it.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman, by the way.
Yeah. Vicky, I love you.
But you can't teach in-ring for shit.
No. She had one match in WWE, really, and it was her farewell for Eddie, and they did a great job with it, and it was damn near perfect for what it could have been, and for what Vicky was capable of doing.
Right.
But
I think too, because I think there was there was a thing where, of course, Stephanie fired her in the mud match or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, of course, once again, before that match, they paid all the respect in the world to her family and stuff.
They did, yes.
Like, that was done very tastefully.
Yes.
She wanted to move away from wrestling for a short time.
Yeah.
But, like,
she got remarried.
Right.
We were very happy.
Congratulations.
For her.
Yep. Jealousy, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, here's the thing. Like, I mean, if they would have put promo coach, I'd have been like, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, they're all.
That woman can teach you a promo if you don't know how to do that.
No, they're all just labeled as coaches.
That's fucking stupid. You have Jerry Lynn there. How come Jerry Lynn isn't working with none of that talent? I would like to know, besides, because I know he's a producer backstage.
Yeah. By the way, rumor was Petey Williams is going to try out by WWE
he got it,
as a backstage producer.
So, to be fair, he'll probably get hired.
Yeah. So,
he did most of the first hour of SmackDown.
Right.
Which was probably its best hour.
Yeah.
So I get a feeling, and then Bruce Pritchard, I can't fucking stand that guy. Bruce Pritchard booked the rest of the show because, of course, it was on FS1.
Yeah.
And that's when it felt like, oh, this is an FS1 show.
Yeah.
So he'll probably get hired on.
Oh, yeah.
The feeling is he'll probably go to Raw, which good.
Nothing wrong with that.
They need someone who's in the wrestling business with their Hollywood writers.
Yeah.
To fucking help them with Raw.
And Petey's always been very smart to the business.
And he's damn brilliant.
Yeah. They're bringing another former.
Yes, they also brought back Jimmy Wang Yang to work with the women.
Yes.
To help the women's division.
Yeah.
Which he's very good at. Has 2 daughters. Yep. One is wrestling right now.
But now we move into, because we got to get off this Rhodes thing. This was...
No, now we move into the road to AEW. Great segue. There you go.
Hey, so a tweet has been sent out, and I think it's actually worth saying. This is from Jeff Lipman. Don't know who this is, but the tweet makes sense. So ROH is gone. MLW did $40K on cable with its best match, which was embarrassing, by the way, because it was a great match. Impact lost.
Well, because they're on beIN Sports or some shit like that.
Impact lost 2/3 of its audience in less than a year. Jesse reported that long before this. What's NWA doing? ? The cynic in me was right all along. Oh my God, it's like I wrote this. AEW wasn't competition for WWE. It killed everybody else.
Huh?
Jesse, where's the lie? And by the way, I want to point something out. While yes,
to be fair, I've done this before. I love him. He's him and Dave Grohl are 2 reasons I picked up a guitar in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
I blame Billy Corgan.
Yep.
Because you still have a chance.
Well, you have to blame Scott a little bit.
True, but like you still had a chance to get that program.
By the way, folks, congratulations to the Foo Fighters for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Deserved.
And by the way, folks, if anyone's sitting there saying, "Wait, they deserve to be in," when Paul McCartney does the induction,
right.
you did okay.
I think so.
You did all right.
It still feels like it came 5 years too late.
Just a bit.
But I will say this:
they had to do 4 more great albums.
Real
first.
quick about that. So, Billy Corgan has had multiple chances to talk about getting that NWA Power program onto syndicated television.
Yeah.
Because somebody will pay, because one, he's a well-known name.
Yeah.
And someone will pay to get old school studio wrestling back on.
Oh, yeah.
Because wrestling is kind of becoming a hot commodity again.
Yeah.
He has not fucking done it. Billy, you got to do it, man.
It's the right time. I would
Bucks,
so much love to see that.
As much as I hate to do this,
hell, Nick Aldis is a face now.
The Bucks found a way to basically make the world believe that they were draws. That's why that ROH show at Madison Square Garden got shit on.
By the way, that was a Ring of Honor show.
Yes. New Japan held up their end of the bargain, but again, we all agree the Bucks still should have
New Japan had the better matches,
yes.
but that was a Ring of Honor show.
But the thing is, we do know the Bucks and Kenny ultimately sold most of the tickets, and we all agree they should have done the job.
They should have gone and done the event.
But here's the deal, okay? Forget that ROH may have gotten a little bit cocky or a little bit stubborn on things. Forget that for 5 minutes. You guys are not making anyone better but yourselves.
True.
That tweet, regardless of if this person is known or not, it should tell you. And honestly, forget the tweet. The evidence is in front of you.
Right.
These guys are signing all elite contracts. Bobby Fish signed with MLW first. Now that's apparently dead in the water. And he's now all elite. Guys, you're throwing the money around. You got your friends' jobs. But your friends and you are not giving back to the wrestling business. Hell, honest, Vince is giving back more to the wrestling business.
To be honest, they've become a worse version of 2015, 2017 WWE.
Yeah.
Where they're buying up all this talent, and there's just a lot of people sitting in the fucking catering.
Well,
have they not become what Punk accused them of becoming?
Right.
And by the way, Punk's there.
Punk's there.
He's taking the money.
Yes, he is.
This is the Phil Brooks thing that you were talking about.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Phil, we're not calling you a hypocrite. We don't believe that
you're not calling him a hypocrite.
You may go ahead.
I am.
Bishop,
and you can go on Twitter and say, fuck you, and that's fine.
But if you also want to be honest with people...
I still give your wife more credit than you, sir.
But here's the other thing. The character always mimicked the real person in CM Punk. Folks, I hate to be that guy, and Jesse, you said it about the Phil Brooks problem. Every company you've ever been in has given you damn near everything you've asked for.
Right.
Damn close to it.
And because he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
You just wanted more. You became the very greedy thing. See, this is why I always say
Triple H was... it's the one thing where a lot of us will go online and be like, Triple H is actually writing a promo. Like, you're not that different from me. You say you're the voice of the voiceless, but... Really, you just want more.
Jesse,
and that's okay.
Jesse, you and I have a lot of mutual friends, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I think they are very intelligent people.
Yeah.
But they bitch and they moan every day about billionaires and politicians and people with more power than them.
Correct.
I never bitch because guess what? I've never been in the position of those people. I've never had that kind of money. I've never had that kind of power. I don't know how I'd react, so I can't judge somebody. Right. But, folks, CM Punk is judging Vince McMahon and Paul Levesque and Stephanie and Shane. He's judging all these people. But, bro, the people in power have always given you virtually what you wanted, and you've abused it. I said from day one, I've never been fully on Punk's side because by him walking away, it proved that he thought he could.
Right.
It proved that he thought he was bigger than the brand. And it's okay to have that mentality when you're trying to be a star because Steve Austin and Rock were bigger than the brand. But they never shit on Vince.
Well, here's the thing. He apparently didn't learn from the past. What is the one thing Steve Austin talked about he regretted? he regretted walking away like that.
He did.
Now, he felt like he needed to show how valuable he was, but I mean, it hurt when he did that.
Yep.
It hurt him, and it hurt WWE.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's always talked about, I regretted doing it that way.
Yeah.
So it's... Here's the fucked up part. I actually am going to give AEW some credit this week. But yeah, Phil is, I've said it before, the moment was beautiful when he came in, but guess what? Now you have the Phillip Brooks / CM Punk problem.
Yep.
And it's a problem he can't solve himself because he doesn't see. He doesn't believe he has it.
Well, it's like Bischoff said it another week again on his pod. If you listen to us and think we are one-sided with that, listen to Bischoff. He said again to Tony Khan, you are, and we'll talk about it next week, you are wasting too many people on your roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And by the way, hold on.
Turn into WCW.
And by the way,
again.
CM Punk said he wanted to come in and work with new talent. Bobby Fish is older than you are, asshole.
He hasn't done shit.
Nothing against Bobby, but he's older than you.
He's worked with some new talent. So technically Darby Allin is
the Darby thing. The Darby thing was perfect because that was the only time babyface versus babyface was going to work.
Right.
But the problem is
the Will Hobbs thing was fine. I had no problem with
heel
it.
There.
He couldn't work.
Daniel Garcia actually worked because of 2.0.
Yes.
But folks,
so to give him credit, he has worked with new talent. But
after that,
after Bobby Fish, yes, I can't wait to see what happens with Eddie Kingston. But that ain't a new talent.
No,
Eddie's 40. I love Eddie.
Is it basically going at CM? These are people
New York Familia.
CM Punk wants to wrestle.
No. What it is the obvious thing that nobody wants to admit.
So the story he's trying to tell
CM
is
Punk
that
just wants to stick it to Vince. That's all this is.
But the story he's trying to tell right now.
He's also getting paid very handsomely.
How the hell is he sticking it to it?
He's not really sticking it to
He's
him.
not. But Leroy, we hold on a sec, Jesse, if I may. We talked about this last goddamn week. They think it's better. The numbers don't say shit. A demo does.
Right.
Which, by the way, Leroy looked up numbers on demos. He looked up information on demos. You yourself have said, and I quote, demos mean shit.
Yeah.
That is the only victory.
Oh, yeah. I'm friends with Rampage.
That is the only victory that he has is a demo.
Yeah.
He doesn't beat them in ratings because here's the deal. Vince gave up trying to make NXT better. Which is fine. NXT 2.0 is still a better show.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just different. It's new.
Was, as Bischoff says, 83 weeks. We beat them head to head.
You're
not doing that.
You never
even
beat
tried
Raw.
It.
You'll never beat SmackDown at this rate.
Oh, you're not getting close to SmackDown.
If
Rampage has been, Jesse,
gotten worse and
Jesse,
worse
help me out
week.
here. Rampage has maybe been one of the worst ideas. It's actually been a worse idea than Thunder. It's gone downhill faster than Thunder did.
Yeah, Thunder was
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, it's like
because Thunder was bad. Don't get me wrong. Nobody liked Thunder.
Well, here's the problem. Thunder was just shittily booked.
Yeah.
Rampage, like this week, Rampage was booked insanely good. You wouldn't have known.
No.
If you watched SmackDown and then you were like, oh, that's right, Halloween Sunday, I'm going to go get drunk in a costume and maybe try to bang somebody, then you didn't watch Rampage.
And you just got drunk.
Yeah.
But Rampage is actually really good this week.
Yeah.
But the numbers are going to show no one watched it, really.
Yeah, everybody
Besides
was
the hardcore wrestling fans, no one watched it. So it's one of those things, they're hurting themselves. I always said, what a stupid idea to be on a Friday, regardless if SmackDown is there. SmackDown only does those numbers because it's WWE.
Yep.
So, like I said, as it grows, and you'll see it grow more, especially now in the winter, it's too cold for people to really want to go out.
Yep.
Like, WWE will always do a bit better in winter on regular television. You want to grow yourself? Wednesday wasn't a bad night to start.
No.
Throw a show on a Thursday.
Yep.
I mean, you're already hurting Impact. You clearly don't fucking care,
No.
Yep.
which is why they ended their partnership. Like,
Jesse, we said from the first episode that they had that partnership. This is
how
going to
much
kill
of a fucking waste it was, too.
This is going to
And it hurt them.
Jesse, I'm going to give you about 2.5 minutes here.
All right.
What was that main event scene before Kenny got there?
Before the main event scene, before Kenny got there, they had rebuilt it completely.
By the way, Scott D'Amore, to his credit,
Yeah.
never told us how long the plan was, but he said he had a multi-year plan to fix the main event scene.
Correct, and he did it within, I think it was basically 2 years.
2.5 years,
Yeah.
yep.
And
He didn't necessarily say he laid out a plan, but that was essentially what he alluded to.
Correct.
Is that he had a plan to fix the main event.
Remember, the
He and
biggest,
Tommy, by the way.
the biggest guys in their main event were now mostly all WWE guys. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode,
Yep.
Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley.
And by the way, folks, Big Bob, as he's now referring to himself as, Bobby Roode and
no
Dolph
one's ever
Ziggler,
called you that.
Yeah,
Bobby
Roode and Dolph Ziggler are
Maybe.
great as a tag team because both guys are very happy to know where they're at.
Right.
They're fine.
They're making millions of dollars. They get featured on television. Like, it's not a big deal.
I mean, to be fair, folks, outside of beer money towards the end and then his main event run, I hate to say it, TNA wasted him in Team
I'm
Canada.
about to say they kind of wasted him.
They
in Team
shit
Canada.
on him in Team Canada.
They really
Eric
did.
Young was the breakout star. Actually, Petey Williams was the breakout star
Petey
of Team
Williams
Canada.
was.
But Eric Young was the joke comedy thing
Right.
for a bit. Folks, Bobby was really just there in Team Canada.
Right.
Did you see what Dolph said to somebody that?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you should be go elite.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
Unfriend me. I'm like, oh damn.
Well, that's what I'm referring to.
I love
Dolph
you,
is
Dolph.
very happy where he's at.
Oh God, yeah.
Dude, he's 40 now. Like, even though he's still in great in-ring shape, he's also got comedy he likes to do now.
Yeah.
And they're more than happy to be like, well, go take a few months. Go do it.
He doesn't
Like,
care.
Yeah.
But back to your whole main event scene.
So they literally,
Got
because all
gutted.
those guys are now in WWE.
They were gutted.
They were gutted.
They were gutted from the day AJ left.
So what they did,
Yeah.
well, it got worse when Bobby left.
Yeah.
When Robert Roode went to NXT.
Yep.
And then James Storm was like, well, fuck this. I'm going
Which,
to go
by
to
the way,
NWA.
by the way, we said it. Bobby Roode carried NXT for a year.
Yes, he did.
That is known as, and to a lot of people, as the Forgotten Reign.
Also killed them when they let Drew McIntyre walk out the fucking door.
They didn't even
Yeah.
attempt.
They didn't even attempt to re-sign him, which was insane. But but that wasn't Scott D'Amore. That was a previous regime.
So here's the deal. Okay, so let's set the scene. Previous regime is out. Dixie is no longer affiliated.
So what
Scott,
they do is
Scott has now taken
Right.
the ability to sort of book
so what
the
they
show.
do, they have these new guys. Moose. They get
Moose was hot off of ROH
correct.
at that
They
point.
get the dude who used to be in 205 Live. We were just a former Impact champion. Rich Swann.
Rich Swann, yeah.
Yeah.
They grabbed the young kid out.
And Rich
of-
Swann was a risk at that point.
Right.
Like,
right.
a
Because
huge
because of the whole
Situation with his
personal domestic thing and all that.
Yep.
Which is weird because have you seen that woman? She could probably whoop his ass.
Yep.
But and then also goes and get a kid where they were working with the company Austin Theory used to be in Pro Evo.
Yeah.
And they go get Austin. I forget his last Austin Ace or something like that.
Austin Ace, yep.
Yeah. And they start building the shit out of these guys, and they literally
They
rebuilt.
fell into Josh Alexander.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because-
Josh Alexander, everyone thought Josh wasn't kidding. Everyone thought he was just a tag team guy, especially since he used the old school stuff. Then all of a sudden he got into the singles run, and you were like, "Oh shit, he might be the best."
Well, they fell into him, and to be fair, Ethan Page.
Yes,
So they were able to build the
who
hell
they
out
just
of
once
these-
again let walk over to AEW.
To be fair, though, to Scott D'Amore, why would I pay an up and coming talent money that they're paying him?
That's fair.
If they wouldn't have offered him that much, he probably would have stayed. But
Yeah.
fuck it, they're gonna pay you. Very Vince McMahon like mentality. Like,
Yeah.
well, if they pay you more than what I'm gonna offer, then
Yeah,
do what
for
you got to
it.
do.
But anyway, yeah.
But he rebuilds the shit out of that thing, and then he goes, you know what? Let me throw something else in here. Let me just have women in the main event. You want to know why? Because I have one of the best women's divisions in the world. I have Rosemary, who's beloved by hardcore wrestling fans. I have Jordan Grace, who's beloved for many reasons, but also by hardcore wrestling fans.
Oh, yes.
We got Brian Cage for a short time before he went to AEW, and it was very well told stories, and he rebuilt the shit out of it. Then they do the Kenny thing, and they basically killed what was built for 2 years because now no one sees it. It was. And it's different than Brock and when he was Universal Champion never being there because WWE has so much talent that you were able to just put the Intercontinental Championship in the main event and you didn't miss a beat.
And people also accept that Brock is just not going to work those dates anymore.
So that's why people would blame Vince. Like, well, why do you have this guy as this unbeatable champion when he's not fucking there?
Yeah.
So Scott tried to do something because he's like, well, listen, for me to work with New Japan again, which is something he's been trying to do for 3 years, I have to work with this new company to show that we can be trustworthy again. Because New Japan got burned really bad with Dixie Carter and those guys last time. And Scott was there, but he was just a writer.
Yeah.
So really getting Christian Cage the championship has helped to kind of get them back onto the scene.
Yeah.
But they're on such a small channel that it doesn't help.
Yeah.
So like I said, hopefully for Impact, the big thing that happens is that they can get on a Paramount TV, which is like it's a nationally known
used to be
cable
Spike.
thing. Yeah,
it used to be Spike,
but it's now called Paramount TV.
Yeah. Basically, just go back to your old channel,
right? Or try to go to Discover, who's now looking at maybe getting into the pro wrestling game.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the pro wrestling companies, including MLW.
But my biggest thing is just, I don't really want to hear that AEW was. I don't want to hear about the good right now because we're focusing on the fact that you guys killed a lot of wrestling companies. You've hurt them. ROH, yes.
I will
Sinclair,
I will not blame them for NWA though.
No.
That's solely at the feet of Corgan.
You've made that clear.
Yeah.
But to get off them for a second, ROH, yes, Sinclair didn't do much for them.
Right.
But you were taking half of their, not their big guys, but you were taking half of the rest of the roster.
Right.
I hate to say it, when top talent works with each other too much, they water themselves down.
Yes, they do.
They do. Bandito had to face Dragon Lee too much. Mm-hmm. Rush was on there too much. You didn't have nights to remove your big guys because what kind of show were you going to run?
Right.
You didn't have anybody.
Well, then Brody King was already working with Japan, so like...
And now he's in PWG with Malachi. But it's just, guys, you are so up your own asses, you don't realize...
Get up there, Northern California. They're running a lot of shows again.
Yeah. Yeah,
and they're great, man. I love PWG.
You don't realize what you did to everybody else. Mm-hmm. You didn't hurt Vince the way you think you have because Vince has a talent pool that's just beyond...
It's deep.
And by the way, folks, third-generation stars... Most of their fathers are sending them the Vince.
Yeah.
Because they know that Vince is going to at least take care of their career better than... Because the problem is that if they go to your company, you hold their daddy's legacies against them. You do. It's been shown. Brian Pillman has been shit on by you guys.
Right. Jungle Boy, too.
I don't even know what's going on.
I don't even know if that counts. And I don't know what's going on with that.
No one knows what's going on with Jungle Boy. But anyway,
they shit on him.
But anyway,
Jesse.
Jesse.
When I get to Jungle Boy, I'm always like, he won. Have you seen Anna Jay?
That's fair.
He won.
But now we get to the moment that
being Luke Perry's kid helps. Go ahead.
But now we get to the moment that people need to understand before we even get to the real moment. Yes, it is true. I don't care if you want to walk away from it. If WWE had done this, you would have spent a week ripping them and destroying them.
Even people like...
I don't care that it was a Halloween-based episode.
Sean Ross Sapp said it.
Yep.
Like,
stupid.
This is one of those deals where if you get mad at WWE for doing shit like this, you can't give the Bucks a pass. You cannot.
Forget the Bucks. You had a... It's over. I'm done. Nope. I am declaring on this show right now, I myself will never do it. Fuck you, boys. Adam Cole does not get his baby. I'm sorry. Nope. You don't deserve it, Adam. You left what was going to be, at worst, an upper mid-card early run.
About to say, only early.
Early.
You wouldn't have had to cut your hair. You probably could have still done Twitch, and it would have been early. And you would have been moved to the top spot immediately.
Yes, Adam has said, I refuse to give up my Twitch, and I didn't. And the baby and the boom thing is for me. Look, Adam, you're so talented. They would have given it back to you in like 2 months. You would have had to maybe. AJ had no problem walking away from Twitch for a little bit.
He's back.
Yeah, Adam.
Cesaro is back.
We're gonna talk about Cesaro in a second. Cesaro's got a long tour coming up.
I know he does.
But no, folks, Adam Cole, I love you, sir.
Yeah.
You don't get it on our show anymore. I'm sorry, but. How is this any better than what they would have given you?
Even
if you were Keith Lee's manager, which isn't a real thing, this still would have been better.
Here's the thing. I'm actually starting to less believe he went there for them. I think he went there for her.
Which is, no one is mad at whatever reason Adam went. But you can't sit there and say that this is a better version of Adam Cole.
I have to believe she was the
only factor.
The biggest factor in him.
Not
because,
only the biggest.
Because before the last match with Kyle O'Reilly, before she signed her extension, he was saying to them, hey, do you think you can get Britt here? They tried.
They did.
They actually, before she won the women's championship, they actually legitimately did try.
Yeah.
But she decided to stay, and that's fine. She's built herself over there.
Yes, no,
and
100%.
Genuinely for her, there probably would have been some concerns because, to be fair, we have seen what has happened with Charlotte recently. Even though technically she was right, she might be handling things in a poor way.
Yes.
We'll talk about that.
And we'll talk about her.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think it was her. And I'm not going to kill him too much more for it because I got a feeling this bullshit he's doing now only leads to a story where they kick Kenny out the goddamn Elite and he gets a main event run. But it's just it sucks to see him this way because the run in NXT was so legendary. And yes, some people overuse that word, but it was.
What bothers me the most is how do you go from that to this, even if it does lead to something? You took such a step down.
Right. I believe that.
He's not anywhere close to the Adam Cole baby that he was. No. He's just Adam Cole.
Yeah.
It's Adam Cole, part of the Super Clique. He's Kenny's lackey. He basically is.
Yep.
Where am I wrong about that?
No, you're not.
Adam Cole cuts a halfway decent promo because Jungle Boy wants one of the elites. Mm-hmm. The only reason you send out Cole is because the Bucks aren't going to work a singles match unless one of them's hurt. And Kenny is the world champ. He shouldn't be involved with Jungle Boy because Jungle Boy's nowhere near built to be in that spot right now.
Not anymore.
They're doing.
I agree.
They built him up for over a year. First wrestler to get to 50 wins. Only to re-throw his ass right back in the tag division and then do nothing with him and Luchasaurus.
But again, I actually think it's real. I think Kenny Omega has a list of people he wants to cross off and just say, hey, I got those wins. And he'll never work an actual... See, this is the problem with modern wrestling. Too many one-offs, no actual build-ups.
I agree.
That's the problem with modern wrestling.
I actually agree.
Nobody builds a program anymore. Hello... You had one of the most impressive storylines in years with FTR and the Bucks built off of Twitter alone, and you give us one match. Yeah, it was 29 minutes. Yeah, you did everything you've ever done in your day. You basically got your shit in, boys. But that was it?
By the way, that guy has not been seen on AEW television
in a long time.
Since that interview.
Yep.
Well, somebody posted, which I thought was very interesting, the longtime career that
Melissa
Triple
Santos,
H,
sorry, go ahead.
That Triple H and Rey Mysterio has had in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Never face each other one-on-one.
Never face each other.
Which is insane.
I saw that and I was like, I'm thinking back. I'm like, no.
They've been in tag matches together.
I've never seen them go one-on-one. It's crazy.
Didn't Shawn Michaels face Rey on Eddie's Raw night?
I believe so.
The tribute night?
But Shawn did.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, boys.
By the way, go watch that match if you've never seen it.
Oh, God.
Two legends in that. Yes,
I have that
random
oh my God.
Random question. This kind of goes with AEW a little bit because of the internet hypocrites.
Oh.
Would you like me to break up the AEW before we come back with a little blind resume?
Sure.
Would you like a little fun blind resume?
Sure.
There, boys?
Oh, shit. Yeah, and we haven't done that in a while.
All right.
We got to do that
this
again.
One.
The last one was Booker T, and I think I got it.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
I had to try harder.
All right,
and it didn't
folks. Folks, we're going way back with this one.
Okay.
Born.
In my younger years?
More your later years.
Oh, okay.
Born January 13th, 1932.
Woohoo, January baby.
Passed away August 28th, 1982. This man, I'll say that, was a popular wrestler of the late 50s, early 60s. And despite racial tension in America, became an incredibly popular babyface. Wrestling either single or tag, his tag team partner was often Bobo Brazil.
Oh, shit!
He is the son of a former professional boxer who had an 8-0 career record.
Oh!
He is a former NWA Canadian tag team champion. He is a former WCW Australia world champion. He was a WWA world heavyweight champion.
I want to look at my phone for his name because it's eluding me right now.
You can't.
Oh, you sons of bitches!
That is cheating. That's our rule.
He is a member of the WWE and the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
We had them rules set down for doing. You cannot look at your phone. You cannot Google anything.
He was once known as the Black Panther.
Yes.
And he was billed from Kingston, Jamaica.
I know. The name is eluding me, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we just move on?
Hold on. Just give me like countdown from 10. Come on, Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know this.
7.
The name is totally just same with you. It's there, but
see, I think he also wrestled Vern Gagne, I think.
Oh yeah, I think he was
like in the
AEW
late
and
'60s.
Stuff. Oh yeah, AEW was going on there.
Go ahead. Fuck, I'm gonna be so ashamed that I couldn't get the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the original bearer of the Bearcat name.
Yeah.
Bearcat Wright.
Oh yeah.
Edward M. Wright.
Oh, I'm so ashamed.
It's all right.
Well, I knew it was Bearcat, but I couldn't remember his fucking name.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you...
That was a good one.
For those of you, as we've already explained, today we're going to go into a little detail. For those of you saying Vince will give you something stupid, ladies and gentlemen, this man was a trailblazer for African-American wrestlers.
I'm going to get Zach back for this one.
Shit. Well, we do another one. You got it.
For
you
sure.
got it.
His son...
Yes. I knew it was Bearcat. I'm like, what the fuck?
He was the son of the original Bearcat, Ed...
Yeah. Yep.
So Edward Wright is obviously Edward Jr.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
His father was the original Bearcat.
Yep.
Bearcat.
Correct.
8-0 boxing record. Yep. And remember, despite racial tensions in the 50s and 60s, was a very popular baby.
Yes, he was.
Insanely popular. And anyone who watched him will tell you Keith Lee is doing a hell of a job.
That's going to eat my fucking guts out this whole week that I did not get that.
Okay.
6'6", 260 pounds. Folks, also, remember, everyone says Vince doesn't let wrestlers do what they want.
As soon as he said tag team partner was Bobo, I'm like, motherfucker, I know who this is.
Jesse,
yeah, I know.
You've said on the show, the Bearcat family was asked by Keith Lee,
and they gave their blessing.
And if they said no, Keith Lee was obviously not going to
do it. But they gave their full blessing.
Folks, if you want to go online. I'm sure there's some just grainy but bad footage.
Actually, on YouTube, there is some updated footage of a couple of those tag matches. So yeah, definitely go check it out.
An absolute trailblazer of the sport from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yep.
Somebody that once again lived what I always call the Hank Aaron story, because I did a project on Hank Aaron. Mm-hmm. He the boys loved him, but obviously the fans had some issues because of racial tensions
back then.
Folks, without this man, there would not be a Dante Martin. There would not be a Darius Martin.
Correct.
There would not be Booker T. There would not be Keith Lee. There would not be
Ron Simmons.
It's just the biggest difference probably between him and his family and Hank Aaron is that I think they always understood of what they kind of were forced to go through.
Yep.
Whereas Hank Aaron understood. I mean, Hank Aaron's an intelligent man.
Yeah.
And I love Hank Aaron, but he was always very bitter. And I get why, but he was always very bitter about that.
Yeah.
Because he always felt like, and he was right to feel that way, but he felt like he deserved more respect than he actually got.
No one's saying that he's wrong.
Right.
No one's ever going to say that. But
before we get off of this, like when he hit the home run and you kind of see him kind of like, getting people off of him, because that was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, he was so bitter because he was told for years, you don't deserve to break Babe Ruth's record.
Yeah, he was.
And I don't think he ever enjoyed the history he actually made.
Right.
So,
which is sad.
sad.
But and also this is something that is very important. Passed away at the age of 50 from sickle cell anemia, which is a very rough thing in the African American community.
And it's very rare nowadays.
It is, but at the same time, we would encourage the African American community.
Get checks.
Please make sure that is something that is on your mind. That it is not a racial thing you've been told. It is an actual medical thing.
It's actually
It affects the African American community very very harshly.
Unfortunately,
more than the Caucasian community. It's not a statistic they made up. It's actually been proven.
So to my people, just if you're ever at the doctor, blood tests, they usually run them for free.
Yep.
Just if you're ever worried about your blood and all that, just get the work done.
Well, it's getting close to my favorite time of the year.
I know.
November.
I know.
Yeah. Also, by the way, folks, a truly impressive stat. Debuted 1952, retired in 1975. Not a bad career.
23
75
years.
was a good year.
Were you born in 75?
That was the year I was hatched. They beat the hell out of the mold maker after that one.
There you go.
And looked at my parents and said, why?
Yeah. But, yes, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes a name can come from a place.
Right.
And by the way, there's a professional football player now. I don't remember the name. He plays for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
It was said on Monday Night Football that he would like his name to be not changed, but he would like it to be said differently to honor his Nigerian heritage.
Right.
Folks, in an era where we are remembering in things of the African American culture, where thankfully now we are actually being honest about that kind of stuff. This is a man that deserves just as much credit as someone else. And by the way, here's a crazy stat. 5 days before this legendary moment in Washington, D.C., he won the WWA World Heavyweight Championship from Classy Freddie Blassie.
Freddie Blassie.
Classic Freddie Blassie.
I a little tongue-tied there.
No worries.
He won it in Los Angeles, California. He would rip phone books in half during his promos. But Jesse, 5 days he did that before this legendary moment in Washington, D.C.
Was it the Martin Luther King?
It was 5 days before I Have a Dream. He became the WWA World Heavyweight Champion.
And you know what Freddie would say about your little Mex? You damn pencil-necked geek. Saying my name wrong.
By the way, Freddie was really one of the
Freddie.
greatest, not only performers of all time, one of the greatest men of all time. Because, we've unfortunately heard about Rick recently.
Yep.
But Freddie was always open-minded, was willing to lose to a black wrestler, to a Latino, even when it wasn't popular back then.
No. Yep.
But he would do it. Just for the sake of pro wrestling.
And I think when you've listened to the way that Jim Cornette will talk a lot about the past days that he worked and everything like that, I don't think Jim ever cared what you looked like or where you came from, as long as you respected the business. Because he'll talk about, he'll talk about.
Jim's a good kid.
Yeah.
Just
but anyway,
fucking weird.
But anyway.
Maybe that's why I like him. I don't know.
But anyway, yes, AEW fans, Vince is not the horrible monster you think he is.
No. And I said that when the name came out. I'm like, that name has historical
Hall of Fame. And by the way, he's in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, so it's not just like Vince is doing this thing.
And to be fair to Dave Meltzer, who usually is an AEW pay stooge, when people were up in arms about him being called Bearcat Lee, which, by the way, it's Keith Bearcat Lee, if anyone watched Raw, it was one of those things where he was like, wait a minute, guys, this is actually a beautiful thing to be talking about a guy who doesn't get enough credit, him and his family.
I'll be honest with you.
What they did.
And I'll be honest with you, Vince didn't have to put him in the Hall of Fame. There was no reason for Vince to do it.
Because he never worked north like that.
No, he never did it. And that's the thing. He worked in the South most of his career. Good luck with that if you were African-American back in the late 50s or early 60s. But, back to AEW. Jesse, two fairly good shows. Yeah. We'll give them that.
So, like I said, Dynamite was fairly decent. That fucking main event, of course. You know what I don't understand, and then I'll be done with the main event, is why they put 6 of the most talented indie wrestlers I've ever seen into a group that used to just be 2 wrestlers, which is fine, but You put 6 of them in there. Now you've included 2 women. Very good. Tayana Kayante has got herself over.
Yes.
I'm so happy for her. She's done a great job.
And I think you said, it was either last week or the week before, that you said someone just finally told her, be the bubbly personality that you are, because you're going to get over like hell.
Because she's actually infectiously likable. So apparently Mark Henry once said that to Triple H about her, and that's what they wanted
No
to
offense
present.
to Ty, but when she was in NXT, that was a hard women's division to get noticed in because God were they deep at that point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was too much to overcome if you were a youngin.
And that's not anyone's fault.
Right.
That was just, oh shit, we're loaded.
I mean, Candice LeRae. Fuck. When you start shitting out the names, it's like, wow.
It was, it was loaded. But 100% she has gotten herself over.
So you have these people in this group, and I'm talking about the Dark Order.
Yeah.
And yet every chance they fucking get.
Which is weird because they're because the only reason they're there is because they were friends with the Bucks.
Here's the worst
They
part,
also
though.
beat the shit out of the Bucks a while back, but no one seems to remember that happened.
Right.
Because we've just joked them out.
So here's the thing. Like, it's almost like
By the way,
joke jobbed them the fuck out
by the way,
there's a leader involved.
By the way, Stu, I hate to say it, Tommaso looked better as Kratos.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you, Stu, but...
Yeah.
You were accurate, but Tommaso pulls
Well,
it
I
off
say you
better.
were 1,000% accurate in your costume, but Tommaso looked like a bad son of a bitch.
Oh, my God. And he is a bad
He is a bad son of a bitch.
I hate to say it, but AEW don't want him because he would make everybody look foolish down there.
See, then they would kind of have to consider closing down the company because, I mean...
He'll run through everybody.
If he wasn't at the top, you'd be like, well, this company's a fucking embarrassment.
Well, that's just it. Jesse, I don't think even...
That's why I don't think Johnny can go down there because it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of embarrassing.
But Jesse, let's be honest here. He goes down there. You're never going to convince me that anyone outside of Cole is on that level.
Right.
Because Cole's proven it.
Right.
But, like, come on. Kenny, really? On Tommaso?
Right.
Ain't nobody going to believe that.
No.
Ain't nobody going to believe
But
that.
it's just like...
Not even Gato could not even Gato could make that
You
work.
had 10 earlier that night, which is fine because of the story they're telling with John Moxley.
Yeah.
But you basically let him get killed. And I'm like... Because he basically ripped his mask and fucking bit him.
This tournament is made a joke. And again, I'm not picking on the guy, but Jim's right about this. When you got in the first round Orange Cassidy going over Powerhouse Hobbs, I'm sorry, but as soon as you get Powerhouse Hobbs to the level of, okay, pull the trigger or don't, you find some way to bring him back 2 steps. I don't understand it.
Well, he's cursed until he gets away from AEW, and
He
I
is.
say that.
They have no idea what to do with this kid.
They just don't respect Team Taz.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. Yeah.
I don't even know why Taz still works there because they clearly don't respect this man.
Send Hook to WWE. They'd do something with him.
If you were to go be a backstage guy, Taz, at WWE, bring Hook. Oh, my God, if they got Ricky Starks. Oh. I mean, Brian talked about feeling overprotected. He would feel like he was wrestling on a fluffy cloud of, like, nice boobies or something. Like, Ricky Starks would be so protected.
Oh, by the way, random question. by the way, random question.
That's a lovely thought.
Random question. The doctor in AEW, Doc Samson. Was Doc Samson with WWE at one point?
At a short time, yeah.
Okay.
Well, not for a short time. I think he was there for like 8 years.
Yeah, but quick question about Doc Samson. When in the hell was Doc Samson ever told to tell a wrestler, go straight to the finish?
Never in WWE.
This is another thing that needs to be brought up because I don't think we made enough allude to it last week.
Let
me make this clear.
Last week we didn't have this information.
Right. Let me make this very clear. Leroy, we talked about Lance Archer's botch, right?
Oh, yeah.
What in the fuck were they doing letting that match continue? And the reason why I'm not bringing it up just to talk about it again. I'm bringing it up because, folks, these referees are fucking useless.
Yeah, they are.
And what bothers me the most is, Jesse, it's more proof that no one's trying to build anything here. They're just getting to a spot.
Right.
The referees and the wrestlers are just being told, get to your spots. Don't do anything magical. Don't do anything that actually makes sense. Don't worry about next week. Even though, guess what? We're going to be on next week.
Well, because he rolled out of
the referee should have called that shit.
Go ahead.
He rolled out of the ring, right?
Yeah.
But he was out of the ring for like 5 minutes.
If you would have
at that point, you
and
exit.
poor Eddie.
you
we actually,
you exit the shit.
we actually have to say poor Eddie because Eddie was sitting there with his thumb up his ass, like Jim said. But what the fuck else was he gonna do?
Eric, who of course runs DPW, and I know you think we just hate on AEW, Eric.
This is egregious.
You wouldn't have fucking allowed that to happen.
No, but I've said that.
I
to
mean,
Eric.
just think about it. You know, the kid got hurt at the show. Stop. They paused the show to make sure he was okay. They did what they had to do to protect the kid. With the bear.
That was the right thing to do.
Which is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, even Eric understands this. Yeah. And he's running a smaller promotion.
First ever show.
You're running $1 million promotion, and you don't. Hey, I thought he rolled out.
And by the way,
he was just collecting his thoughts.
No, and by the way, Jesse, Jim said it himself, which we didn't know until I listened to the review, which I think might have come out before our show, but either way, I didn't listen to it afterwards. Guys, Eddie was supposed to win anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, Jim Cornette said it best. The reason why the Owen Hart Stone Cold thing was a bit of an issue was because Stone Cold was supposed to win.
Right.
So he had to find a way out of it.
Right.
Lance was going to lose anyway.
Which, by the way, give Owen credit for just thinking on the fly and getting that figured out.
Yeah.
God rest his beautiful soul.
Yeah. But like, folks, guys, really? You're so in your own. You're so into smelling your own farts that you can't realize that Oh, by the way,
listen,
he rolled him up, Jesse,
right,
on a neck that could have been broken.
Yeah. Listen.
Nothing against Eddie because Eddie didn't know what the hell to
fault.
do.
They told him to do that, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Also, by the way, when has Eddie Kingston ever used a roll up?
Never.
That's true.
And he'll never use it again because
Right.
Eddie Kingston's never
That's
used a
not
roll.
who he is.
What they should have done, and the easiest thing to do, 10 count, con mode,
No!
and throw an
No,
X and be done. Or just exit and be done.
no, forget that. The referee should have just said, no, we're done. And then guess what? Lance Archer could have had something to bitch about for a fucking year.
True.
You would have
true,
thrown
yeah.
Lance into something good for once. But once again, it's Lance Archer and AEW. Let's shit on everything he does.
It's weird.
Let's ignore the fact that they tried to get us to believe that Lance actually brought a fan over the rail. Like, Excalibur lost a lot with me. Because, and I'm not repeating this because of what Jim said. We all knew it.
Right.
Jim Ross was smart enough to not call the person a fan because Jim knows don't get that on me. But like Excalibur proof that he's only there to call what they tell him to call.
Right. Which is unfortunate because he's actually people go listen to him in PWG. The guy is actually a pretty good announcer. I don't know what the fuck he is in AEW. Besides when I listen to him on Dark, I don't know what the fuck he is.
But again,
a lackey. I don't know.
But again,
basically,
what is absolutely
he's Corey Graves. That's what he is.
No, because Corey Graves actually pisses off Allison, and Excalibur makes her.
Corey Graves is a piece of shit, though.
Exactly. But anyway,
Jesse,
Jesse, this is inexcusable, and it deserves to be said again.
Now that more information has come out about the incident, you protect the wrestler from himself. Hey, dude, if you're rolling out and you're not sure you can stand, we're calling this. Hey.
Oh, by the way,
that's it.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Anthony, you deserve a little bit of this too.
Oh no, you deserve a lot of blame.
You should have. You have the referee in the headset.
You're the top guy.
Yep.
You're the boss. Hey, you know what? If he's not feeling good, X that shit. If he's because he said apparently I wasn't sure if I could stand anymore.
And don't be that person.
Hey, I'm not sure he can stand anymore.
And don't be that person.
Kill the match.
And don't be that person who replied to me on Facebook. Forget the name because I refuse to mention that person's fucking name. Who's like, well, Vince would have said make the moment. Like, no, he wouldn't have.
He would have told the ref kill the match. I would rather make sure that they're okay than have the damn match
continue. And by the way, to point out what Jim Cornette said, and this is what happened to Vince, the worst case scenario is the wrestler, in this case Lance, gets his bearings back up and then just makes 2 minutes of television where he's griping with the ref. Right. That's the worst case scenario if you just call it. Forget a 10 count. You just fucking cancel it. Right. Throw it out.
Right.
Well, and we go reference to...
But the 10 count doesn't give Lance the out. The 10 count just means it's over. But the thing is that, once again, what Jim tries to get us to understand, and this is the moment where it clicked with me, you're trying to create wrestling to make it look somewhat legit. Forget the veil's gone, all right? Just take that out for a second. Right. You want it to be as legitimate as possible. Unless a guy gets nut-shotted in the USC, because that's an illegal move.
Right.
No person is given time to get back on their feet.
No,
the one time that the ref says, take as much time as you need, is if you get nut-shotted.
Right.
That's Jens Pulver, I believe, got nut shot that one time. Yeah. Jens was basically told, take as much time as you need.
Which is weird because it was an accident, but I thought they were actually going to disqualify the fighter.
Yeah, no.
And they didn't, but...
No, yeah. But my point is this. This wasn't a simple nut shot.
No.
Lance Archer, first of all, never do that again, Lance.
Right.
Please don't ever do that. I said that last week. I'm saying it now. Don't ever do that again. But the fucking thing that bothers me is where's the hate? Where is the internet outrage for the dumb shit they don't do?
Yeah.
You people are...
Well, to piggyback off of Leroy...
It's another hypocritical move.
Here's the biggest problem I actually have. So this kind of happened in WWE
Also,
once.
didn't Eddie lose the next week anyway? Because Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Folks,
so here, let me finish.
Brian's beating everyone
well,
right now.
Brian's going to probably win the damn tournament.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho, I think it was Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
It might have been a different wrestler.
Yeah.
Remember, there was that thing where the wrestler got hurt. The ref was like, I don't know what's going on. And Chris yelled at him like, hey.
Do your job.
Do your job, count the fucking 3. He's hurt. And it was audible because it was clear dude had broke his leg.
Yeah.
So even Chris understands this. Why isn't he yelling at his boss? Hey, guys, you got to end that fucking match because if Lance broke his neck.
It's also proof, sadly, that Doc Samson has no control.
Right.
That's the sad part. If Doc's saying that, someone has instructed him
to tell that.
To just say go straight to the finish.
Right.
So what I'm figuring out now, and again, I've got tangible evidence. All your shit with Vince is all rumors from people that are angry at him. Yeah. I've got physical goddamn proof.
Vince protects his fucking wrestlers.
Yes.
Even against themselves.
I said the last one I saw was when the Viking Raiders, when they were in that triple threat. And what was it? Ivor. The big
Ivar.
Ivor. He jumped, did his thing,
and
he
threw up the X. He threw up the X himself.
He threw up the X to the ref, and the ref saw that.
Oh, they got him out.
Within 30 seconds, Andrade was getting pinned for a 3 count, and he didn't realize
Becky rolled Kari Zane under the ring.
Yeah.
After it was clear Kari was not physically.
Yeah. And
Kari was unconscious.
Yeah, and she saved her like that.
Kari was out.
Chris Jericho did that for Bubba Ray one time where he had a spot he hit, and he knew Bubba was
not right.
He was gone.
Yeah.
So he took care of him for the rest of the match. That's what they need to do. Come on.
It went straight to the finish, actually. In that case, he just, when Bubba was out, he just kind of signaled the ref, like, hey, and then had him count to 3. Because, he's not good.
But it's just proof. The refs are not empowered.
Right.
The refs don't know what the hell they're doing because no one's giving them instructions.
Right, people will boo WWE when the refs just check on someone, but that's how they're taught. Hey,
that's what you're supposed to do.
If something ain't right, go ahead and pause the match for a second. Well, hold on.
Well, on Monday when Kevin bounced off that ladder and fell to the floor, I was like, oh, god dang, that hurt. A ref was right there in his ear going, are you okay? Is everything okay?
That's how they're taught. Sure. Hey, give me that signal. Give me that signal. And once they're given the signal, they're good to go. But otherwise, and sometimes they'll make sure if they, if they're not squeezing hard enough, sometimes you'll see them, and call it because that Vince has told them protect those guys and gals.
And if the wrestler starts to gripe on television, they're gonna write that in, but they're gonna make sure you can walk away.
Right, you're gonna be able to go home.
Lance. I get it. He wants to be a team player, but that might be to his detriment here.
Oh, God, yes.
That might be to an issue.
Well, listen, he's a pro wrestler. And I love all of you guys. But most of them won't want to stop a match just because they're hurt.
People give basketball players a lot of crap. But those guys, basketball is the ultimate sport of a lot of the guys who are in it, whether they're black, white, or otherwise, they are responsible for their families here. And even though they're guaranteed contracts, you don't get a second contract.
And in a sense, it's a very individualized superstar kind of sport.
Yeah.
The superstars protect themselves.
But that's why you watch.
I'm not feeling this.
But that's why you watch at the end of the day.
Right.
But it's like, folks, football's had a big problem for years. Guys should not have gone back in.
Right.
It should never have happened.
Which is why they got sued.
Yeah. Now, I think
a lot better now.
Now, I think that right now, and first of all, this is what I love about the NHL. One of the biggest jokes in the NHL world is that they never really tell you what the injury is. They just go upper body, lower body, head, foot. They never tell you what's actually wrong.
Right.
But it could just be the guy wants to sit out for a little while, or there's something bigger wrong that, no, the NHL's not covering it up. They just want you to understand he's hurt, he's out, we're taking care of it.
Right.
We don't have to go into his medical details.
Right.
But football, in my opinion, I'm hoping is getting away from that. And this might sound like a weird comparison, but Jesse might understand this. In the last couple of years, you've watched the NFL. A lot of star players are restructuring deals.
Yes.
Which used to be a big no-no.
Right.
Because it killed the next free agency.
Right.
But what they're realizing now is restructuring's not killing what guys are making. Dak got his money. I don't think it's going to kill the QB market. It might make it a bit harder for star guys to get money because they're going to want bigger than Dak. But my point is this. We have to change, and Tony Khan, you're a fan who's proving it once again because you're letting them police themselves when they shouldn't be.
Yes.
Right.
Under no circumstance, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. And Lance doesn't know me. Lance could cuss me out. I don't care. In my opinion, Lance Archer should have never gotten back in that ring. I don't care. I don't care what safety they did because it wasn't safe. Because if the guy's got a broken neck, don't roll his ass up.
You don't roll him up.
But here's the deal. Lance should have never gotten back in that ring. Somebody should have had the balls to fucking say, call it X.
Right.
Throw it up.
Right.
Des Bryant, this, whatever.
Right.
Throw up that X. Move on.
Like, this is it.
But
we'll announce Eddie as the winner. We're moving on.
But, Jesse, the referees have no control. They don't know what's going on. No one's telling them what
really
to do.
Giving no power. And, I mean, Aubrey Edwards does other things for them, thank God, but she's giving nothing.
No.
But they'll show her on TV like she's giving all this. She's not. Like, she's basically a fucking toy figure.
I hate to say this. I hate to say this.
10.
Edge recently posted the tweet of the referee. I believe it's Jessica.
Yeah.
He was proud of her, and she got to ref in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they were all proud of her because she was the first female ref to actually get to wrestle.
But here's the deal.
Match, yeah.
Jessica's ascent has been natural and given.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Aubrey's a figurehead for them trying to make themselves look better.
Probably.
I'm sorry, but she is.
Probably.
That is not taking away from what she could be as a referee because she's shown that she can do this.
Right.
But go back and watch the early days of Dynamite. They've watered her down, and they've told her to water herself
Jessica
down.
has been the referee of main event matches for them. She's been in a couple of the Roman Reigns main events.
Jessica's a believable referee.
Yeah.
She's a great person, and when she left NXT, they were all happy for her. But she had earned that moment.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for it,
No.
and nobody gave. By the way, here's the thing about WWE. Yes, they will go along with the women's movement in the world with the Me Too, and they'll do the women's revolution. Yes, African Americans may get featured more because of what was happening, but here's the deal. Everyone who gets the spots
Deserves it.
They've earned it. They've deserved it. Whether they were forced into it or not is not Vince's fault because, again, he follows the trends.
Here's the thing. She could have said no to the trip. Remember, he's one of those people with that trip who says, listen, I'll still pay you. You're just not going to get paid the bonus, but I'll pay you.
But by the way, folks, all of their trips to Iraq for tribute to the troops, that was all voluntary.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go.
You didn't have to go.
Everyone's like, no, they were forced. No.
The wrestlers, and hell, Jim Ross has said, like, oh, no, those trips, they were told you don't have to go.
No.
Like, I'll make it work with the B team because they're paying me anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, the contract's signed, they have to pay me.
Yeah.
But if you go, you're going to get a little bonus. You get to wrestle in front of the troops.
And by the way, more actual, real, tangible proof.
Yes.
Here's the deal, folks. This is the new bar for Crown Jewel. The other shows were not that great because a lot of the stars didn't want to go.
Right.
And Vince accepted that. But
Right.
he still took the money.
Right.
She is a real referee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aubrey could be, but she's in the company where they don't do shit with your referee. The referees, see, wrestling is supposed to be three people. Wrestler A, Wrestler B, referee.
Right.
There are three people making this entertainment thing work.
Right.
It's always been sports entertainment. Enough with this bullshit. It's always been that. Wrestling evolved into that. Boxing evolved into a real thing.
Right.
Right. There's tangible. Jim said it before, but there's tangible proof on both sides.
Right.
But this is a joke. The referees have no power. The referees can't make a decision.
No.
The doctor apparently can't make it. There's no way Doc Samson on live television would risk his license if someone didn't tell him.
That is insane that man who has all this year experience of working with wrestlers, you wouldn't be like, hey, if you check him out and he ain't good, just call it. Like, this is a trusted dude in the industry, and like, you don't let him call that. Like, be like, hey, Lance can't go no more.
And I know people want me to shut up about this, but guys, after this Ghostbusters thing, even if it was a sponsorship like the Space Jam thing was, why are they getting passes for movie sponsorships, but you shit on Vince? Why?
Right.
Don't get me wrong, the Obama Hillary Clinton thing was stupid as hell, but it was at a time where it meant something,
right?
And it was culturally relevant. But why do they? Again, at some point we're gonna have to make a list of where your hypocrisies lie, because you don't call out your favorite place for the shit that they're doing, which is no different than what Vince is doing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I love my girlfriend. I love my fiance. But there are times where she doesn't understand that what I'm saying isn't exactly what's happening.
Right.
If that makes sense, or the other way around. Sometimes you have to look at what's right in front of you, but sometimes you also have to look at the visual it's creating. Vince has been doing stuff like they did that Ghostbusters thing. He's done it 1,000 times with 1,000 different things.
Right.
And whether he got paid for it or not, he thought it was funny.
Remember the fucking gobbledygooker? He might come out this Thanksgiving.
You never know. I mean,
hell,
people forget that TNA had the fucking briefcase
I
thing.
swear to you, when I went to see them in New York once in November, and my cousin, actually Michael, has talked about seeing WWE, and they bring up the gobbledygooker. You kind of just want to go beat its ass, because it's such an embarrassing thing. Because we as wrestling fans sometimes are very overprotective of pro wrestling, and then you see the gobbledygooker, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat this chicken's ass and get kicked out of this show because this is stupid."
Can I point
That's what I felt about the main event.
Can I just point something out?
I should just go.
Apparently, in wrestling, you're over if you come out of a box. You're also over if you come out of a marshmallow costume. Jesse, go on.
Like, come on, man.
I'd rather
By the way,
cake.
this is like the second or third time the Elite got beat up by somebody that had hidden a mask in their thing. I'm like, nobody checks this shit before you go out there. Again, the realistic thing that's supposed to make wrestling fun. Nobody checked who was in the costume.
Right.
They just accepted that some dude was paid to be in a costume. Fuck off.
They're that smart,
Also, again, the world champion was in
Can
this.
I tell you the last time?
By the way,
something
protected
like
world champion.
Right.
Every time I say that,
God.
Jesse just rolls his eyes.
Anyway, I will say this because remember the Miz and Dean Ambrose, and they had the big gift, that Maurice was literally trying to give him. Like, she was trying to give him a gift.
Yeah.
And he thought, oh, fucking assholes in the box,
Yep.
right? Because the box was so big.
Yep.
And he starts beating the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Only to realize it was the gift.
Yeah.
And Dean was the camera guy.
Yep.
Well, that's believable.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think, because back then the camera guys used to wear masks. 'Cause
Yeah.
You weren't really supposed to see them.
Yeah.
So that's believable. Like, the camera guy could be anybody, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Did you see that fucking puff thing? That you're not telling me that's not a big stocky dude that's clearly fucking Hangman Page? Clearly walking out doing this.
Yeah.
Because the fans can tell, oh shit, that's Hangman.
They just knew.
They can't even hide their own shtick from us.
They're smart enough to. Oh yeah, that's Hangman.
So you're asking us to be mad at WWE when sometimes they do a gimmick thing and you're like, well, that was just fucking bad.
By the way, sometimes it is.
Well, listen, I'll tell you. Sometimes it's just really fucking
You
bad.
hated the zombie match. You really did.
Don't get me started on this shit. It got Mike hurt, which is just damning.
Yep.
But you bring out
shit
this
happens.
motherfucker in the puffed costume, and you like I could see through the costume like, oh, that's Hangman. I could clearly see
They
the
can't
cowboy
even find a
shirt.
good costume to
Right.
hide. You know what? They should have gone with the blobby dude that was in Ghostbusters, because at least that costume wouldn't have
It's
been
green.
white.
You wouldn't have been able to see
Nobody
him.
would have known.
Slimer.
Yeah,
Yeah, Slimer.
No, they do the puffed one.
How do you know not Slimer?
I'm so mad at the Elite right now.
All right.
They made me not want to watch Ghostbusters. Okay.
Actually, I watched it last night. It still holds up.
Yeah, okay,
Fucking
good. Okay, great.
37 years later.
I did. I got both of them.
Nice.
Now, one and two.
But Jesse, They can't even do their own shtick well.
No.
And by the way, guys, how long have we watched wrestling? How long have we known that, yes, they're real tables, but they, on the bottom, don't look normal? Oh, right, let's not remove the band that keeps the tables centered, and let's just have two women fall through. If the guys fell through, fine, like the weight alone's going to... But come on, Jesse, you got to help the women. Biology alone, you got to help the women out here.
First off,
hurts more.
To give them a ton of credit.
It does. That's what I realize. When you go through the equipment, it's supposed to break. Because by the way, when they don't take the pins out of the announce table, hurts a hell of a lot more than if you fall.
I've always said you can look when they don't go completely through the announce table. I'm like, oh, that bruise is gonna hurt for like 2 weeks.
Yep,
that bitch gonna hurt.
And I was at a live show of a UWS up here, and that happened. They cut the table.
I don't think they cut the tables, but they cut. The integrity's hurt by the band.
They might have cut the table.
They might have cut the table.
They did. Well, the show I was at, and we were up close. We watched, and a guy got put through, but he hit the table. It didn't budge at all, and me and my friend that were there looking, we were like, "Oh my god, that's."
I've been to WWE shows when they've done the announce table spot, and no one goes through, and you can just that's actually like it's supported by metal, but usually what they do is they loosen it right before the spot.
Well, they take the pins out.
Yeah. And so that allows them to go through.
It's like most of the tables are press board; they're not really.
Also, Jesse,
when you get
hit, it's another situation where.
But even though the match itself was great,
well, yeah. But see, the problem
and they protected Abaddon, who I love.
But Jesse, what are we talking about? Not the match.
Not the match that I love. We're talking about the table.
Yeah,
the table that didn't break. to quote Allen Iverson.
And that could hurt the wrestler more.
True, that's true.
When it didn't break.
What's also sad is once again, you arguably have as much, if not more, wrestling talent producing than Vince does, and nobody thought to check the table. Nobody suggested maybe we should check on the toys.
Right.
People give Vince credit for rewriting the show, but at least he's probably got people making sure everything goes.
Well, I will say this: we can give him crap for rewriting the show the day of.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Lana, anal, whatever you want to go by, CJ. We all knew.
Anal.
Right.
Once again. I will bring that bitch up as much as I damn well please because she promised me something, and it was a popcorn fart. Worse than the exploding ring match.
And Zach, you have an experience with tables, an incident that it didn't work out right at a show, and damn, they had to go through another table. All right. It's a simple thing that happened. Oh, well, and they go, oh, shit, we got to go through another one.
As long as Chris doesn't remember that I was a part of that, I'll probably be fine.
I don't think he would be upset with any of us that were part of it.
My God.
Things happen. Shit happens.
And he's a professional, so he knows
But
sometimes
here's the thing.
gotta...
Those women actually went out there,
yeah.
And to give them credit, they have protected Abaddon in a sense because...
They haven't used her at all?
Besides that's probably a good thing, to be honest. But she just for the sake of the future of her fucking career, she's only lost to champions. So she's beat Britt before, but now that Britt's a champion, she lost to her with interference. The only other 2 times she's lost was to Hikaru Shida, who was the champion.
Yeah.
So that actually, to me, I'm like, okay, well, that protects a wrestler. When the only time they seem to lose is when they lose to a champion. They did it with Piper most of his career, and that's why he's a legend. Like, the only time he ever lost was in championship matches. So he's still a stud. Like, that, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But damn, Vince might forget, or Vince might rewrite the script day of the show. But at least that crew knows to check shit hours before the show. All
right. All right. So once again, we got to get moving here because it is Halloween, and Leroy would like to see those kiddos off.
I need my candy.
That's fair. We're gonna move on to the actual.
You are the worst.
What?
There's a tax. There's a tax to live.
You are the worst.
There's a tax. They get a few candy.
Just for that, Jesse's not mad that we're gonna go a little bit longer.
You have become the American government, sir.
Hey, no way, man.
You allow those kids to have that candy.
All right.
Well, yeah, they're gonna have the majority of the candy, but Dad needs to get a couple.
With your 15% tax, you're the worst.
Speaking of which, folks, a tweet went out and it made this show really happy. Didn't get as much press as it should. There is a tour, and it is Cesaro versus the Ring General Walter.
Let's correct that.
Please.
It's Cesaro versus Drew McIntyre versus the Ring General.
Oh, I didn't know Drew was in
yes.
that too. Oh,
Holy shit!
Somebody,
I did see they were using
somebody
Walter in
get
the
me
UK
footage
tour.
of that match. I'll pay for it.
Guys, I put that on Peacock, please.
Oh.
Jesse, of course it is. You know what it is? You can say it because you know it's yours.
It's gonna be 3 big meaty men slapping meat, probably for like 25 minutes of slapping all the meat. They're gonna slap bones and meat like you've never seen big meat slapped. They're gonna slap meat.
Leroy, make a note. That is our official shirt. That's our first official shirt. I'm just gonna say it.
Meaty men slapping meat.
Damn straight. WWE
I'll
won't
work on
approve
that.
it. We
I'll
will.
work on-
Biggie.
The last credit I will give, AEW, you gave me that. It won 2 big guys, but Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston were men slapping meat.
Biggie, tweet us. We'll work with you on that deal.
Biggie, I got you, brother.
We'll
I got
approve
you.
that. We'll approve that
approve
shirt.
it.
We'll approve that shirt. But
That's going to be a hell of a UK tour.
But
Holy
Biggie,
shit.
Biggie, I will say this. I will apologize to you now. Ain't no lawyer going to prove that we didn't do it before you did. Sorry.
Sorry, brother.
But anyway,
We got
Jesse,
recorded proof.
is this the beginning of Walter's attempt on the main roster?
I
we'll call
hope
it?
so.
It's a feel-out session there, I guess.
Right. So apparently the word is they all hated how Survivor Series went when they had him.
Yeah.
The thing was Vince wanted to keep his word to him that he would only be in America just for the weekend so he could go back to the UK at the time. So they kind of made sure that he was the first one to go. While he got some big moves in and stuff, some slapping of the meat, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
So none of them were happy about it.
Yeah.
And Vince wants to give another chance because apparently he loves Walter. You know, how could you not?
Walter.
He's fucking
that's
Walter.
it.
He
Walter.
slaps meat.
Oh, my God.
He slaps meat.
And
I can feel that here. Oh, my God.
He can work with anyone of any
yes,
size.
he can.
Yes.
So,
Very well, by the way.
Oh, my God, yes.
there is a chance this is his tryout of seeing how he does working with a couple of – I mean, they're still putting Cesaro to them in their mind as a main event guy.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't worked a main event program since Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
They still, in their head, see him as a main event guy.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But
and Drew is Drew.
And Drew is fucking Drew McIntyre. He is the prophecy fulfilled.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
So
looking forward to
if
it.
this goes as well as they think it's going to go, they're probably going to offer him. They're going to up the money for him to come over to try to see if that will entice him to work for at least a year.
And there's nothing that says he can't keep the school
right
while he's over here for a little while.
Right.
If this isn't the era where he'd have to mail his instructions. Someone just calls him and boom.
Right.
But here's the fun part: Raw or SmackDown? Where do you think?
It'll be Raw.
It'll be Raw.
It'll be Raw.
It'll be Raw. USA.
He's working with SmackDown guys.
Yeah.
But it'll be Raw because they need to continue to build that.
USA needs
USA
stars.
wants it.
Yeah.
USA wants stars because now they're not getting Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
That's already confirmed. He's going to be a SmackDown guy during the duration of this contract.
Now we move on to something that I don't want to get too into, and it's up to you guys if we do, not because of time, but because there's a lot of speculation. But obviously, it seems that there is some backstage issues involving Charlotte. We don't know if it's just she's a little bit frustrated right now because they haven't been listening to her, and it's just a temporary frustration, or if it's a long-term thing.
I think I can sum this up for us quickly.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys put your own opinions on it, but I just want to
throw
this out here.
By all means.
Her gripes, because she's actually been one of the main female producers.
Yes.
Apparently, the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Because now she's looking at, hey, what does life look like outside of the ring?
Yeah.
She is getting up there, and she wants to keep her body healthy. Apparently, there is rumors that they're actually thinking about having a child. Now that she's seen Becky have one.
Yeah.
Things of that nature.
People also have to understand, I think so much behind the scenes has changed since Taker broke his kayfabe.
Yeah.
Right. So
people don't want to look like him, or I don't want to say look like him. They don't want to end up like what he's actually got. Because I mean, it used to be a badge of honor to talk about your injuries. once you get older, and he's been lucky enough to slow down because Vince told him to. He's been lucky enough to be old enough to where he might live a decent more years. Guys.
That man can barely walk, though.
Well, that's true, but here's the deal. Guys, okay, he and Mick are rare.
Yeah.
Because they're one of the few guys that from that era who did that stuff. No, they shouldn't be alive, Jesse.
Right.
There's a lot of guys who aren't alive to talk about their aches and pains.
Stone Cold is another one.
Yeah. Those 3 guys are alive to talk about aches and pains, and we don't know why.
Right.
But
so,
anyway.
Because Vince in the later years protected the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Her gripes are correct.
Yes.
The first biggest one, knowing she was going to SmackDown,
was put over Bianca.
Yep. Let Sasha win the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Easy swap.
Because they were already drafted to their brands.
Yep.
And then you can actually still do the storylines that they're going to do now anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it would have worked.
Becky was horrendously fucking wrong.
I agree.
Because Becky said, well, why should I lose a championship right now? Becky, sometimes just because you're hot potatoing a championship for a short time does not hurt you.
Do the job.
Do the damn job.
Just do the job.
That's how you became the man.
Yeah.
Do the damn job.
Yeah.
Charlotte was a lot like when because Charlotte didn't have to let you beat the shit out of her at SummerSlam.
Right.
But your friend, she did the job. You're a megastar now. So Becky was wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
No, yeah, 100%.
But here's the thing. Charlotte has not handled this well.
I agree.
So
you can't get into fights in the middle of a ring.
The shit with Nia Jax, that's 100% Charlotte's fault.
Yep.
You want to know why? Because there are different ways to work that out.
Yep.
Nia has, unfortunately, a history of getting women hurt in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, for a second, lost her cool, thinking she was trying to hurt her.
Yeah.
No, it's just Nia's kind of not a good wrestler.
No.
And she lost her cool.
But then you go out there. I understand you hate the segment, but folks,
you shit all over it.
But this goes back to what we said about Becky. Do the job. Shut up and do the job.
And Charlotte should have not done this.
Yeah.
That was what she did on SmackDown with the title shit, legitimately pissing off Becky, was not cool.
Yeah.
At all. But the rest of it,
sadly, Becky's right and wrong, but so is Charlotte right and wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I think Becky here looks terrible because really this could have been avoided just accepting you're gonna be fucking probably feuding with Bianca until the Royal Rumble. Well, anyway.
Well, but to be fair, Jesse, there is plenty documentation of wrestlers not because of ego, but just because of getting caught up in their own shit. I mean, Carl Anderson's told the story of Finn.
Right.
Finn got a little big for his britches over there in Japan a couple of times.
Oh, very true.
A lot of documented real life stuff that.
And Gato humbled him before he left.
Yeah.
Like to remind him, like, hey, this will still be around when you're not fucking wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
That's how solid they are, just like WWE.
One of the few times I've actually enjoyed Carl talking the last year.
But yeah, that's kind of the gist of this.
Yeah.
And now, yes, she's probably still frustrated. She said some stuff on SmackDown. I haven't seen the whole promo.
Yeah.
They've only sold part of it. Apparently, she said some other shit.
Yeah.
That or people were like, oh, she's going to go to AEW. By the way, stop that. Just because someone's unhappy with WWE doesn't mean they're going to go to AEW.
Not to mention the fact Rick himself said it, and it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
They love her. She's being treated like a queen, no pun intended. Right. She literally, why would she go to a place where let's be honest, because you're fresh off, you're one of the few people that fresh off WWE TV is bad for you.
Right.
Very bad.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
No soup for you.
Right.
Let me explain something. Charlotte goes to AEW, instant heel.
Right.
Instant heel.
Right.
Regardless of if she announces it ahead of time. Instant heel.
Yep.
Because first of all, we all know the babyface thing don't work out that well anyway. Number two, they are as cancel culture-ish as any fan base.
Yes,
your daddy's name is not going to help you.
Yeah, no.
And number three, you already are better than most of that roster, but they love their girls down there.
Let's be honest, she's better than all of them.
Yes, 100%.
And I love a lot of them.
Yes.
She's better than all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a scenario where I think even Rick would tell her to stay. See it through.
The husband will probably be like, stay. Don't see it through.
You can defend your wife, that's fine, but at the end of the day,
you're still the champion. You're gonna get the big spots anyway.
Not only that, but but here's the deal: she is proven to be a person that you can't book her away from the title that long.
Right.
So what? You have to spend 6 months jobbing out to somebody, but they're gonna put you right back in the picture when or at a big 5.
Right.
Big 4 now, mostly.
Right.
But
right,
it's just, folks. This is something, in my opinion. If it doesn't blow over, it's not going to go well for Charlotte.
It'll blow over because the two main women who have an issue right now aren't on the same show anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll probably be done in a week or two.
Time heals all wounds.
Right.
Or Vince is going to call both of them in and be like, "We're done."
Right.
Or, and by the way, folks, don't give me this bullshit because this is how the internet works. Well, Vince will just call in Becky and Charlotte. You don't think that him calling in Becky's not going to tell Charlotte without him having to talk to her? Okay, clean your shit up.
Listen,
sometimes you just gotta Leroy, you're a parent. Sometimes you just gotta call one of the kids in and the other one gets it.
Right.
Oh God, yeah.
You don't have to yell at both.
Well, and that's the case with Vince. Like if you hear one of the people who was having an issue backstage of the two gets called into the boss's office before a show, the other person probably knows, all right, this shit has to end. Boss ain't happy no more.
Squash it.
Like
done.
boss is like, hey, this is fucking done. This is a nothing issue. We're done with this.
Have your little squabbles.
Right.
Do whatever you want on Twitter, Twitch, whatever. Once if Vince catches wind of it and he gets a little bit frustrated, it's time to bury that real quick.
Right.
Just trust me. Like I said, he looks at you as an asset. He'll drop your ass in a heartbeat.
As Triple H, who was supposed to win King of the Ring, what happens when Vince gets pissed off? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you get buried in the fucking card for a little while.
Just a bit. All right.
I think that's getting half-assed blown over right now.
Yeah, like I said, by next week, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
When I watch most of SmackDown, it
could be incorporated into a story.
Yes, exactly.
There's going to be a couple of women's
which by the way, and I'm going to be honest to you, ladies, please listen to our show number 1.
Yes.
But this is something everyone needs to take very seriously. If Edge and Matt can work together,
right?
Oh,
you better figure it out.
Anybody can work together
because they really wanted to kill each other.
Not only that.
Yeah.
You gave them stipulations. You didn't just say, go work a clean match. We gave you toys.
We gave you that. We gave you a steel cage. And let them do whatever. And Vince was just like, don't kill each other.
And by the way, Matt Hardy.
The shit out of each other. Don't kill each other.
Matt Hardy could have easily made that leg drop a few inches more forward and sat right on Edge's nose.
Right.
He could have done it.
Right.
Didn't do it.
Right. They were professional throughout.
So, ladies, you have no excuse.
They're friends again now, but yeah.
they stood on a stage years later,
I know.
both realizing they didn't need Lita in their life.
Right.
Nothing against Amy, but they both realized that was their life.
By the way, they did that after she was dating CM Punk back then, too.
Yeah.
So they were probably both like, oh, well, fuck, what the fuck were we mad at each other for?
Yeah, right. Also, I will say this. I think Adam and Matt, being as real as they are behind the camera, I think they're able to sit there and realize when you're running hot, shit gets said, shit happens.
And then we're young. When you're in your 20s, we all know.
It's why I never cared about Paige's video thing.
Well, I guess he wouldn't know. He's actually a loyal man. He's actually kind of grown up much better than I have. But in my mid-20s, would I have fought my friend over a female? Probably.
Yeah.
But like when you're older, you're like, well, that was fucking dumb.
Well, but also Jesse,
I never did that. So.
Jesse, not to make a joke out of this, to be somewhat serious. This is why when Paige video scandal happened, I was like,
I gave Xavier Woods a high five.
Well, that's fair.
Me too.
But my point is this.
No, I saw that man in the show. I gave him a high five.
Yeah, there you go. But my point is this. You can't put a bunch of young people together that much on the road and not expect shit like this to happen. I'm sorry, it's just the way. Vince knows it. That's why he doesn't deal with it.
That's why when the whole tape thing came out, Vince was just like, I'm just going to let this
He was mad at Lana and Rusev, but they didn't. But they did that on purpose and didn't get approval for it.
They weren't supposed to put that on television. But otherwise,
did sex in
he doesn't. Most of the time, he's just like, I mean, I get it.
He also knew that Saray did not do that herself.
Right.
Her phone was hacked,
and it sounds like it was all consensual. So Vince let it go.
Yeah. All right. It is Halloween, and it is now time for Leroy to read the results of this past Halloween Havoc. We spun the wheel, we made some deals, and we changed to the new officially, I think this is officially the change. We have officially changed to the new era of NXT 2.0. Leroy, if you
I
would.
believe so. Yeah. First of all, we had the Scareway to Hell ladder triple threat tag team match.
Only thing I have a problem with is stop trying to make puns out of a match.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say.
And with this, we got new Toxic Attraction, our new women's title.
Love them or hate them,
titles.
folks. They're making waves, and people love to watch them. Love them or hate them.
They're kind of
It's
nice.
just the way
nice
they
to look
won.
at.
I went. Yeah, they weren't booked as the strongest team in that match. Like,
No.
Funny story, though.
Gigi Dolan was fucking dominated.
Funny story, though. Big props to Priscilla Kelly. Nobody thought she was going to make it in WWE.
Which I said back then was stupid.
You did.
I was mad at them for not using her, but I was like, she's still there for a reason. She's going to get used. She's too talented to not be on TV. So they wanted to do a rebranding because understandably, if she's ever let go, she probably wants to use that name again on the Indies.
Yeah.
No problem with that.
Yeah. But no, folks.
Weird shit WWE does.
Yeah, folks.
Weird little shit.
Folks, Toxic Attraction is the best thing going in that women's division right now.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't deny that. They've
Without
been
a doubt.
booked great. They've looked great. And by the way, Jesse, here's the thing. This is the part that we're going to get to when the women's title match comes out, but I'll tease it a little bit. Their shit's been good.
Really good.
That's the thing.
Really good.
Now, we'll go into it more at the women's title
Right.
match, but Leroy, no, good match. Liked it.
Yeah.
Don't really have any complaints about it. It was a good match.
No, yeah, it was. I thought it was very good.
Yep, next match here.
Next one, we have Joe Gacy defeated Malik Blade in a pinfall, just like 2-minute squash there, kind of.
That dude, Malik Blade, is going to end up the North American champion because
Is that the guy that got canceled because he was talking about it being a safe place?
that's Joe Gacy, yeah. But
Joe Gacy.
that was the gimmick. But the more I see the gimmick, I can see what they're trying to do.
I never thought it was bad to begin with. I was shocked when people were mad at it.
This is
I know, too. I didn't think it was
By
bad.
the way, they are fucked because Wyndham is doing an interview this Friday, apparently.
Yeah.
And he's free to say whatever. So, and they
Yeah,
had some people.
He's willing to say.
I
They
have
very Disney-like have people go, oh, he's been hard to work with.
I have a feeling Vince won't get as much on him as your boy Pritchard and John.
That's what I'm
Ace.
thinking.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm because
Because
I'm thinking those two fucking clowns are the one that put out that presser.
Not only that, Vince has always tried to stay professional unless somebody has really wronged
And
him.
it doesn't sound like he had any issues with Vince before the firing.
No.
That's why it was so shocking. So
Vince was actually personally helping out with the Funhouse.
right. And yeah, Vince didn't get everything he wanted out of the Funhouse. Like, they were like, hey, Bray, maybe we should actually have people come in and help you build. But he was like, well, I want to do all the whatever. But I was going to get to this. This is them trying to do Bray again differently.
This is so funny to me that Bray, again, we don't know the interview. It's coming this Friday.
It's coming Friday, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
If what we think is happening is happening, because remember, his tweet specifically went out to Johnny and Bruce.
Yes.
Not to Vince.
Not to Vince.
But you've got now Wyndham.
Right.
You've got now Aleister Black.
Right.
I don't think Vince is the problem, people.
Right.
No.
I understand that they're his yes men, but I don't think he's actually a problem.
Vince makes the final calls on letting people go, but I don't think. Like I said, I think.
And by
Vince
the way,
will
have you
say-
noticed Nick Khan ain't said much in the last couple of months?
And here's the thing: while he might have been the one to fire
We apologize,
Bray,
Leroy. We are trying to get you out of here, but I
no,
assume
no,
okay. Yeah.
fine.
well,
I haven't got a text yet, so we're
Nick
Okay.
might have been the one to fire him. That was clearly a fucking he's an attraction in people power fucking decision. Fuck both of those guys next match.
All right.
All right. We had Roderick Strong defeat.
Actually, hold on a second before we go on. Leroy, put that down for next week. We're actually going to chronicle the non-Vince hate because you know what, Jesse, I do think it is time that we actually, instead of just mentioning he's not a racist, he's not a sexist, he's not a, we should actually chronicle the things he's done that proves he's not these things. I think we owe Vinny that much.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that next week.
I got that down. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. All right. Next
Half
match.
a card almost going down.
Right.
Hey.
All right. We had Roderick Strong.
See, folks, we create shit in front of you.
It's fun.
Magic.
Roderick Strong defeated Odyssey Jones to retain his title.
Again, why would
Diamond
Roderick want to go to AEW? He looks great.
He's doing
By the
great.
way, they're booking Odyssey very strong. I mean, everyone in that faction had to get involved just for fucking Roderick to survive.
By the way, Jesse,
He's a big guy.
By the way, Jesse,